Oh shoot, we should. All right. Oh, I have the chat right here.
Yeah, John, can you do that? I got the chat.
Yeah.
It shows me the chat on Streamlabs. All right. Yeah, we're going. We got this. Here we go.
I'm gonna have to get up.
Hello and welcome to the first All New Nerds live stream. This is our first go around, so there may be some technical difficulties, but I am joined by Dylan.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Joined by Jedi Jive Mike. And of course, last but not least, Meeber Gascon himself, Jonathan.
Colonel Meeber Gascon.
Colonel Meeber Gascon. So we're here and we're...
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming, everybody. We got 17 in the chat right now. 17 in watching right now. Again, this is our first stream. But
this is our first
thank you guys
stream.
so much for coming on.
And this is something we've wanted to do for a while now, but we haven't really put the time to put it together. But now
we got Lavelle in the chat. What's
Lavelle
up, bro?
is in the chat.
No Jenny.
No Jenny. Sorry, brother.
No Jenny.
Sorry.
No, Jen.
There won't be many intellectual conversations here. Just
Oh, hey Aiden, how's it going, man? I love to see Aiden in the chat.
Aiden, there's Aiden, my 9-year-old.
Yeah, we got our own 9-year-old.
We got our own
is
9-year-old.
Aiden 9 years old? Who's Aiden? Who?
Oh, I don't want to perpetuate his. This
Oh,
poor
I'm sorry.
man.
I'm
This
sorry.
poor
Actually,
man.
that's true.
No, I'm
That's
joking.
true. Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy.
All right.
Aiden, now that we have a platform here, you make such great content. I think we would all agree we'd love to collaborate with Aiden in the future.
Yes,
ATH
I would
chat.
love to. Yes,
Fun
yes,
stuff.
yes,
Fun stuff.
for sure.
Good to see everyone.
We'll have to have somebody hit you up. All right, let me just.
All right. So
Guys, what are we talking about?
Star Wars
What's
kind of
going on?
pot. We got a little bit of Star Wars news today that
A
we can
little
get
bit?
into
Little
now,
bit.
or we can get into
Little bit.
later. I don't know.
What are
It's
we
up to y'all.
talking about?
I don't know how. So it seems like all of the first 3 episodes have leaked somehow on Disney Plus of the Bad Batch.
I thought it was first 2.
And like it's 3.
Oh,
it's
ooh.
the first 3, yeah. And
There's 3. Do you
we
want me to
have
pull it
that.
up?
We have that. We also have Matt Lanter is confirmed with Entertainment Weekly that he will be coming back as Anakin in some form or another. And then there was also a pretty big issue of Darth Vader 11 that came out today, which
And Mando season 3 is started filming too.
Oh, really?
implications for
I didn't.
canon,
All right. I didn't
so,
even know half this stuff. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So it's
Well,
news from.
Dylan is
Dylan.
not in the know. Dylan is
No.
not in the know.
No. You can.
Just kidding.
say
Yes,
that again.
Magic Fire, the new Vader comic was so spicy. Very spicy.
So
indeed.
spicy.
It was wild.
All right.
It was wild.
Star
So
Wars
you pulled it
Mania reading from Wikipedia has been done before, but there's so much Wikipedia that I think you could make it your own thing and really make it a cool thing on your channel. I would certainly watch that.
Are you pulling it up, John? The
Yes. With the Bad Batch episodes.
the Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. Yeah. Give me one.
Cody asked, will we be doing weekly Bad Batch discussions? It'll probably come on the live stream, which we post on Mondays, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And
No, we're doing the podcast. And the live
Did I say
stream.
live stream? Podcast.
Yes.
But we'll also talk about it on the live
talk
stream
about it on the live
as
stream
well
today.
over on
Yeah.
Jedi Jive channel and on this channel here. Let me move that All New Nerds logo from the middle of that.
Jonathan's gonna break down the Bad Batch from the middle of the Grand Canyon. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really exciting.
I am. Yeah.
It's
one
just
of
that
the-
one
of the
image that
episodes.
shows the first 3 episodes.
Yep. If you guys want to read that.
Oh, it's not.
Does that
coming-
mean the first 3 episodes are all available like right away?
No.
No, I think this. I don't know honestly how this
I
happened.
don't know how the third one. Oh wait, is it? Can people see it? All right.
Ooh, it's
They-
not
they-
on my side. It's not looking great. Hold up. I gotta.
All right. Hold on, guys.
Hold up. I gotta mess around. All right.
Technical
you see it?
difficulties,
Yeah,
guys.
all
First
right,
stream.
We got it now. We got it. All right.
Okay.
So why don't you
So-
break this down first, Joni?
You want me to? I'm doing the. You do it. One of you guys do it.
All right. All right. So
Um,
first episode we're looking at. First off, what really glares out to me is 75 minutes. But we got episode 1, Aftermath. The clones of the Bad Batch find themselves in a changing galaxy after the Clone Wars. It looks like we got some of the Bad Batch. I see Wrecker there. Yeah, they're just chilling at a table, probably talking about something. Probably on Kamino.
That's Kamino for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could tell that just from the dining set and the gray background.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
Kamino
guess
for
it's-
sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for
Mike,
also,
I
do you know who you're talking to?
People always think they can know who they are just from it's like literally a
Right.
great background. Like I don't like already think that's Kamino. I mean, it might be.
I'm gonna guess
but
it just from the trailers.
not
and
like
all
a
that stuff, I'm
hundo.
gonna guess it's Kamino.
Dude, Wrecker's a hunk, huh? Look at
Oh
him.
yeah, look at him.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
episode 2, we got Cut and Run, which is 31 minutes. The Bad Batch.
Keyword cut.
I wish I had. I wish I had.
Ooh,
I wish we had a
good
soundboard.
point,
We got to do a
buddy.
soundboard because I do the rebel alarm sound right now.
Hunter's
Cut.
wearing like
Cut.
Cut LaQuane's
Yeah.
clothes. Cut
Cut.
and run.
Cut.
The
Yeah.
Bad Batch visit an old contact, and I'm assuming we're gonna pick up Omega in the first episode, but obviously we see.
Oh my
Omega
God!
there.
I'm sorry.
Whoa,
guys.
the stream is on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that was streamception.
So that Cut LaQuane leak from last week was like actually probably accurate.
Maybe. Cutler Queen was
Yeah.
I don't
still kind of
Parts of it.
theorized in general.
Yeah, I don't want to go too deep into that leak, but I think that, as I was saying on the stream, or I was saying to someone at one point, that like I think there are elements of that could be true, but I don't know if it's fair. Like I don't know if that specific leak is verified. Like because the person who posted that, the other thing they posted was verified false. So I still think there's potential for some of those story elements to come into the show. I mean, like we know where they're going to Salukmai, where Cut LaQuane is. It would make sense if Rex was with Cut LaQuane. Like that's a natural place for him to go after the Clone Wars ends. Like he literally knows another clone who has already living his life outside of the army, and like it makes sense. But I don't know if the leaks are going to go that hard.
So does this suggest that Cut and the Bad Batch have ran into each other before, or have had contact before? Because it does say visit an old contact.
No, they probably run into Rex, and Rex is like, I know where you can
Yeah.
go for like safe harbor or whatever.
Okay, all right. So you
let's
think
send
they're
them
going
there.
to?
So we might see Rex like right away.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think
Alright.
that we underestimate how much that this team can fit into a 70-minute narrative. Like that's a lot of time.
Yeah, that is a lot of
You
time.
can do
It's a lot of
so much. Like,
show.
I think you could do they come back, they leave, they take Omega, they're out on the run in the first like 30 or 40 minutes. Like you can tell that story pretty succinctly, and then
Yeah. You think
You
a lot
already-
of that trailer is actually just like all
first episode.
first
I'm right.
episode clips?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is. I think
Yeah,
this.
I
I, mean,
agree.
and you see in the
I
in the
think
Well,
second
even
episode-
Saw
first,
Gerrera.
like-
You think Saw Gerrera fits into the first episode?
I don't know about that, but I do think that just from these thumbnails, like you can see that Hunter is in his outfit of like being out in the world, that we see in the
Mhm.
trailer. He's talking there to Omega. So I think all the stuff we see with Kamino and like them fighting and then getting out, that's all first episode.
Yeah,
Got it.
I think the first trailer, I think the footage from the first trailer was the first episode, but then the second one I think stretched out because we saw Rex in it. You got to think about that. We saw Fennec Shand, and Saw and other stuff happen. So I think that's from maybe the first, maybe like up to episode 5, but beyond that I don't think so.
Aiden in the chat talking about Commander Neo. I love Commander Neo. I think it'd be cool if we got to see him in this show.
That would be cool.
I love the design of Neo.
Yeah.
Before we move on to episode 3, when do we think that the Bad Batch kind of starts to separate from the Empire?
Like immediately.
You
Immediately.
think it's, you think it's
First half,
right
I
at
think,
the end,
yeah.
by the end of season 1, and then all right, got it.
Well, no, it actually, well,
I think
I mean-
halfway through the first episode. Like I'm
Yeah.
yeah, but then cut and run, I think we'll actually have them be escaping.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Already having left too. So it's
Right.
like, yeah.
Right.
Like the end of episode 1 will be them like just getting away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think because I do really firmly believe that name Cut and Run implies Cut LaQuane, and so
Yes,
I think
I agree.
I
But
think
I also
them-
think it's like they are like this will be the episode where they are actually escaping Kamino because obviously they're gonna face some challenges with actually getting off world. So I think that
And
too. But
Do we
yeah.
think it's going to be like who's going to like Cody will be in pursuit of them? It'll be like a clone. It won't be like Grand Moff Tarkin right away.
I think it's going to be Crosshairs.
Yeah, Crosshair. I
Crosshair,
think at
yeah.
first.
Oh, you don't even think they're going to give him an opportunity to like still
Alright.
be on the team so that when he does break away, like the treason feels even more intense.
So we
Right.
see in the trailer, there is a shot of the trailer of Hunter on Kamino talking to Crosshair, saying, "We need to get out of here." And I think in the next part of the scene, Crosshair is like, "No, like I'm not with you. I'm not getting out of here." And I think that's where we're going to see that conversation.
So he's still loyal to the Empire by the
He's always-
by the end of the first
he-
episode.
he's always sort of been the butt of a group. He's kind of been.
So
an
if they're
asshole.
supposed to be like mutants and like they don't like defect, is it strictly because they're gonna end up removing their chips like and 2 or what's gonna happen? Like how are they gonna
I
explain?
don't know if they have.
I don't think they have chips. Yeah.
Okay, so then why would Crosshair then still be loyal if he doesn't have a
It's
chip?
his own personal decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've still been.
He's just an a-hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he's just loyal
Yeah.
to.
That's
And,
one way to put it.
Star Wars Maniac, the old contact we deduced is probably Rex, which is going to lead them to Cut LaQuane. I think that's
Yeah.
where that's going.
Or
You know-
actually, maybe the other way around. Honestly,
Cutler Quain who leads them to Rex. That's possible too.
because I
but-
feel like Rex is probably going to be shown a little later.
Either
in
way,
the
it's been
series. But
pointed
yeah.
out that Hunter's clothes and that thumbnail are literally like Cutler Quain's clothes.
Yeah,
like
they're
it's
very similar.
it's like I think he's literally from the wardrobe there.
Yeah.
But something that's not like narrative related is that the first episode's 75, but the second is 31 and the third is 28. Like that's almost as long as some of the WandaVision episodes. Like
Yeah.
these aren't. You can tell a lot of story. Like the traditional animated shows have been 22, and so we're getting more content than I think we even thought we were.
Yeah.
If
I
we're,
mean,
getting, if we're getting Cutler Quain, are we getting his hot Twi'lek wife?
maybe for a couple shots.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No. What if they divorced? What if there's a Star Wars
Ooh.
divorce? I don't know.
The
I
Star
don't know.
Wars
Not,
divorce.
not to get dark, but anyways. I
Most
just
attractive Star Wars character, Cutler Quain's hot wife. Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
George
Top
Lucas
10 list.
loves
Well,
his
it's just
Twi'leks.
George Lucas just pretty right. He loves him.
Ooh, we got Mandy here over from Jedi
Mandy.
Jive. Thank
Mandy,
you for
what's
joining
up?
us over here. Yeah,
Thanks for coming
glad
in.
you could be here. I know we're usually talking about Marvel over there recently, but we're doing Star Wars today, so I hope you're.
Oh
into
man,
that.
Mandy loves her some Star
Oh,
Wars.
okay.
We can
All
talk
right, never
Marvel
mind.
too. I mean, but let's get the Star Wars.
Got
out of the
Loki
way.
coming up. Loki.
Let's move into episode 3, which is Replacements. 28-minute episode. Again, they're kind of on the ship. The batch gets stuck on a desolate moon. So do you think this is where we're kind of moving into more Clone Wars style, like not filler but smaller arcs that they do have the overarching plot of
Well, the arc is probably going to be, depending on how many episodes there are total, like it's going to be 3 or 4 episodes for each arc, right? It's,
I
don't
don't think
really-
they're. I don't think they're even going to be arcs.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I think they're all going to be standalones, huh?
Yeah.
Not standalones, but more like Rebels, where there are sometimes standalone episodes, but it's all one.
A continuative narrative.
Like
yeah,
I'm
continued narrative.
thinking about how this image is showing the first 3 episodes, and I know I already said asked if it's going to mean that they're all going to drop at once, and you said that it's not. But like, why are there 3 specifically in this image? That's still catching my attention.
I don't know.
Like-
Sometimes Disney and stuff like this just kind of mess up. Like
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah, I really don't know how this happened.
Yeah.
yeah, this is a pretty bad leak.
It does look
originally
way too
saw-
legit to not be real too. That just
100%.
looks so
Yeah, I know.
real.
And
There was
someone's
an-
really
there was
good
a-
at their their graphic design if this is fake.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Element 7 in the chat. Hey, Element.
Element
hello.
7.
Thanks for joining.
Wow.
Well, on the point of this episode, the replacements, I like the description and the thumbnail may seem like pretty bland and like something that might be standalone, but I think this is where we see the elite squad led by Crosshair, who is the sort of replacement Bad Batch, starting
Sure.
to hunt them
Yep.
down. So
I
I,
mean,
think this is like
That's how the
Pretty major story
Mandalorian kind of
implication.
operated sometimes, where like the description, thumbnail, and name like wasn't too intriguing, but the episode ended up being crazy.
Yeah, that definitely happened. No, but so I was gonna say going back to the conversation about why the third episode is up now, or why this was shown. I'm a little confused by it too, but also there was an original picture with just the first 2 episodes that was leaked first, and then somehow this came.
Yeah, I
out
didn't
too,
see the third one
that the
earlier.
third-
I didn't know there
at
was
the
a
third
one.
episode. So yeah, this was kind of a shock to
Well,
me too.
Someone just got fired at Disney. That's for
Someone,
sure.
yeah. I don't even know if it's that. I don't know if it's just, yeah. I don't know what the reason is, but it's pretty
Software
interesting.
error.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
Didn't this
We
happen
have to-
with the Snyder cut? Like if you watch Tom
Yes.
and Jerry at
Yeah.
one
Tom
point, I
and
should have
Jerry.
watched the entire Snyder cut.
I think there actually was another Star Wars thing that this happened to, wasn't there? Like maybe like it was a Clone Wars season 7 maybe. Like I do remember there being a thumbnail.
I think it
coming
may have
out
actually
before
been-
the.
I
it
think
may have been one of the Bad Batch episodes. to
Oh,
be
was
honest.
it? Okay, I thought it might have happened with Mando too, but
from
maybe that was
Clone
a
Wars
false leak.
or this, or this
Oh,
show.
oh, it did the times of the episodes from Mando would always leak every week. From
Yes,
overseas.
yes, yep.
That's how it was.
Yeah, and people would get really hyper disappointed depending on how long the episode was, which is funny because some of the short, like I believe
Robert Rodriguez proved us wrong.
Yeah,
that.
I was just gonna say that
Yeah.
episode with Boba is like some people's favorite episode, and that's kind of on the shorter side, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. And Mike, I
Well,
wanna
it was
thank-
extended
sorry.
with the action scene. Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, yeah.
made
It was.
sure
He
to
only got
do
like
that.
what 9 pages of script or something
Yeah,
like that.
very very short script. Yeah. So, anyways, go ahead, Levi.
Oh, I just wanted to address what Mike said about like the arcs, and I think one of
Mm-hmm.
the reasons why Clone Wars worked so well as arcs is because that show, for whatever reason, was not told in chronological order. Right? It was
Yeah.
all out of order, and so telling stories in that format could afford them some like leeway in the way a story is told. I don't think this is going to be out of order. I think this
It also
Rebel-
offers me some leeway as a viewer and what not to watch. because I like there's definitely like about 15% of the Clone Wars that I just don't ever watch.
Thanks,
Oh,
Jumpy,
the
for the
reverse,
sub.
the reverse Michael.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
Michael,
yeah.
Michael over at
Rexing
KRT
around.
made the claim that only 15% of Clone Wars is good.
No, wait, what? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it's the
yeah.
reverse. It's the
Yeah.
reverse.
His literal brand is about Clone Wars.
Yeah,
But
that's funny.
Michael's great. And Michael, if you ever want to talk to me, let me know.
John, Michael. You wanna come
Levi, I'm gonna hand this question to you just because you kind of know what's going on. But Stars Mania says, is Kamino going to be destroyed, and do they still have the genes that made Bad Batch? So where's Kamino kind of at, like, during the Galactic Civil War? If
So in Legends,
Sam
the
Crayson,
Kamino-
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sam Crayson is a good friend of ours, and he's in the chat. What's up, man?
That's fine.
What's up, buddy? Sorry, Levi, go ahead.
In Legends, so the Kaminoans actually led like their own clone revolt after like they bred another clone army and like tried to rebel against the Empire because the Empire had moved to stormtroopers, and so the Kaminoans weren't really relevant anymore, and Kamino was sort of suppressed and put down. In canon, all we know is that the clone troopers are phased out. We do not know what happens to Kamino itself. I think that Kamino is probably still a planet, but we might dive into this in this show. I think this is going to deal with what happens to the clones.
Awesome, yeah. And this for Sam, but also anyone who's just kind of joining the stream. We're getting a little hype for the Bad Batch here, and we got a leak of these 3 episodes. We got the thumbnails, runtimes, titles, and descriptions. So we're just kind of going over that and what we think think's gonna be happening in the episodes.
Yep.
And Aiden is asking about, were the Bad Batch born 10 years before attacking the clones? If so, would that mean the Kaminoans were experimenting early on? I think yes. I mean, from the inception of the clone army, I think that they were always experimenting. I think because you have to remember, right? If Omega is a clone, even if she's like one of the last clones, she was still created many years before the end of the Clone Wars because she's like 10, so she would have to be at least 5 years old.
Yeah.
So I think that the Kaminoans have always been experimenting. You see that in the Darth Plagueis book, like they're constantly. It's Legends, but like they are constantly messing with genes and trying to just do whatever they can to make something new. And so I'm not sure we'll get that deep into Kaminoan lore, but I think we will see.
I feel like we might.
In the broad sense, what happens at Kamino.
I feel like we might. I mean, I think Omega is kind of the key to opening maybe some kind of something that we don't know about cloning and on Kamino. So, because Omega confuses me. I mean, again, I don't think there's that much information about her. Besides that she's some kind of different breed of clone, right? Or is that kind of the idea?
Well, it's only a theory so far that she is a clone, and actually, Wrench in the chat is asking if we could see Boba in the Bad Batch, and I'll turn that question over to you guys.
Boba in the Bad Batch? Probably not. I mean, anything is possible considering all the characters we are already getting, like Saw Gerrera and Fennec. But
we talked about that Boba and Cad Bane animatic that already exists.
That's true. Yeah, they might adapt that.
That's a deleted scene of Clone Wars.
Yeah. Why wouldn't so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
they could
I honestly think that would probably be more adapted in the Book of Boba Fett now that they have the chance to do that. But that's just my opinion. But
Ben Gibbs hitting us with the all new nuts. Benji, what's up,
nice.
man?
Okay, Dylan. All right, and anyways, but I just lost my train of thought. What was I gonna do? I was gonna say we were just talking about the Book of Boba. Yeah, so I think there's a chance that they might run into Boba. I feel like I guess I can't really think of like an immediate motivation with trying to find him or having Boba find
I think I've
them. But
last fool killer. Do you think Rex gets Cody's chip out in the Bad Batch? I definitely think no. The opposite. I think Cody is going to be like one of the antagonists of the show.
Yeah.
And I think he may even die. I know. I mean, we did talk about how he's probably going to appear in Kenobi.
Yeah.
Because technically Cody and Kenobi have like more of a like history.
Cody and Kenobi.
Than Rex. I don't know. Rex and Cody. I really want to see that interaction though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think we'll definitely get Cody and Kenobi.
If either Rex or Cody have to like potentially kill one another, like maybe Cody is still like totally like he has his chip in and he's like totally Order 66 mode, but then he gets a chance to kill Rex and decides not to.
Well, if that leak is true with the Cut LaQuaine stuff and Cody and what he does to I don't know, I don't want to get into it just in case it's true.
Wolf and Gregor too, right? Like
some crazy
we'd love to see
Solomon 7.
how do Wolf and Gregor get their chips out? That's another great one.
Right, yeah, and that's
Well,
still something they got to
yeah.
explain. Yeah.
Before we jump into that, because I think that's a great question, Element. On the point of Boba, like before we had any trailers for this show, the way it was originally sold to us is that the Bad Batch in this new era of the galaxy sort of gets into the underworld, right? And additionally, this is like a huge year for Boba Fett. We got the Book of Boba Fett, and then over the summer is the biggest comic crossover event that Marvel has ever done for Star Wars, and it's all about Boba Fett. And
All
if
about
they
that.
also had Boba Fett in the Bad Batch, I think it would make sense. Like, I don't think he'd be like a main plot, but if they're becoming bounty hunters, we know that Fennec Shand and Boba have a history together.
Right.
Like, we could see how Boba and Fennec first meet, like just sort of in the periphery, like because at this time Boba is really getting his foot, into the door as like a bounty hunting legend. So if they're in that criminal element underworld, I don't think it's too crazy to think that we can see Boba.
I could see them running. I could see the group running into Boba. I was just thinking like, I was more thinking like, oh, would Boba like want to hunt down the Bad Batch, or like would the Bad Batch want to?
They definitely have to make it
down
feel
Boba? I don't
realistic,
know.
because I don't, the
Yeah.
galaxy of Star Wars sometimes can feel a bit small when all these characters from different things start coincidentally meeting up. You know what I mean? So they would kind of have to sell it to us a little bit, I think.
Last
think
Fool
it-
Killer wants to know a question from earlier. Do you think Fennec will be working for Maul in the underworld?
Ooh.
I think
That's
that
good.
additionally, with this underworld stuff, like maybe we could get references of Maul. Like, I really want to stress that I don't think a lot of these cameo characters are going to be main. It's not going to be as in depth as Mando, right? Like Mando,
Right.
you got like Ahsoka stole the show that episode, and that was
Yes.
all about Ahsoka. When you have a 22 episode, I'm assuming this is going to be a 22 episode animated thing. You can have like, and I think this would be cool, like the episode where the Bad Batch runs into Boba, who's also a clone. They're both like these different kinds of clones. They come from the same person. Like that could be a
Compelling
cool
story.
that
Yeah.
could be a cool interaction they have. As they cross paths, and they go on their separate ways in this
Yeah.
sort of bounty hunting underworld. But I think there's a lot of room for like tying stuff into the universe at the time.
So you are thinking 22 episodes? That's
Yeah. I mean, if
22.
it'd be 14 is a weird number.
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like it's 22. Or at
I
least
mean,
20.
yeah. 22 is. I just
Fingers
don't want to
crossed
get
it's
too
22.
optimistic. Like that. That's exactly what I want.
I wonder when we'll find out. I mean, maybe when the first. Yeah, actually, probably when the first episode drops, we'll probably have an episode amount. We'll probably know the count. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, I 22. Fingers crossed for 22. Fingers crossed for 22.
And Element was asking earlier about Wolf and Gregor. So
Yeah.
do we think we'll see that?
I mean, Rex. We already know Rex is in the show, and we know that they meet up at some point. Obviously, we see them all together in Rebels. So, do I think they'll show that storyline with them getting their chips taken out? Yeah, I think that could probably work with the show, with what the show is trying to tell, the story that they're trying to tell so far. I mean, I think so. So.
Do you
What do you
think
guys
that
think?
they executed Order 66 and then took the chips out, or is it implied that they did it?
Yeah,
before?
doesn't
Yeah.
Wolf talk about that in Rebels, where
Wolf
like they kind of
definitely did.
implied that he
Yes,
definitely
Wolf
went
did.
through some trauma and then
Mhm.
like afterwards had it taken out, and that's why he's kind of like messed up extra.
Yes.
Yes.
Gregor was already just kind of crazy, and he was presumed dead and off in like the middle of nowhere. So I don't know
Yeah.
if he really had anything to do with Order 66, but Wolf definitely did.
Shout out to the Meeber Gascon arc.
Yeah.
Can't let it go, man. Droids are.
I can't let it go. I can't. Sorry.
Luke
You guys
Skywalker
gonna
in
leave
Venom
the
2.
screen
Yes,
share up the whole
Sebastian
time?
Stan is actually going to be in Venom 2 as Luke Skywalker. Kind of just crazy scoop on the All New Nerd stream.
But what did you say, Mike?
Oh, I said you can leave the screen share up the whole time. You
Oh,
gonna- did you not
they
even
can't,
know?
They can't even see us.
It's your first stream, bro.
Gotta pull it-
Oh,
oh,
man.
we're unprofessional.
This is so.
No.
Hey, they're
Cat,
listening.
This is
you,
so
they're
not
listening.
professional. Look, I am literally
Ah,
dragging
Chad,
it back
I-
into the middle.
Oh,
There
they're
you go.
so mad.
Oh.
Wrench. Yeah, I will be doing reaction videos with Levi too. So we will be doing those together.
Ah!
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of these faces in the thumbnails.
Why can't I get the what's it called? I can't get like
Yes.
the zoom overlay to go down.
Oh God.
You know what I'm
Technical
talking
This is
about?
very
difficulties,
professional,
people.
guys.
I mean, I don't think it's
Um,
I don't think it's that big of a deal, but
If you're in OBS on mine, I think it's Alt. You hold Alt
Try
and
to-
drag the edge.
I'm too scared to do anything like that.
That's on a Mac.
well, you guys figure that out. Cody in the
Yeah.
chat is asking when we think we'll get an Obi-Wan trailer. I think this fall or winter. I think is when we get our first trailer for that. Because that Lucasfilm tends to be pretty uptight when it comes to the shows and the marketing of that. Like, I think honestly, the first Bad Batch trailer is the farthest out we've gotten a trailer for a show officially, because the first Mando trailer for season 1 wasn't until like August, and it came out in November, and then with Mando season 2, they waited until like October or whatever, and it was like rough. Like, they didn't market that at all, and so I think we're waiting. I think we will see an image on May 4th, though. I think we'll get a Kenobi image on May 4th.
Oh,
Of him in
I
costume.
do too.
Yeah. Let's.
What do we think it's gonna be of?
Well, May 4th in general. Like, what kind of?
all you need
are we
is
gonna
Ewan
get?
McGregor just standing there in the desert. That's enough,
Yeah,
dude.
that's true.
But with Vader, do you think there would be a
Yeah,
shot
the
of Vader or
typical like
just
Star Wars
Kenobi?
poster is the like evil person in like above, larger and kind of
Right.
like,
That like poster. I'm just thinking
Yeah.
that I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like, and maybe even some like Entertainment Weekly type, like you know how they do those releases of
The
the
Vanity
stills?
Fair.
The Vanity Fair. You're
stills,
right.
yeah.
Sorry, Vanity Fair. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry. That the Book of Boba Fett too. I think people are kind of forgetting it just because we're on the hype of Bad Batch right now. But I mean, Book of Boba Fett's coming this year, so I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
we'll definitely get some pictures of that, and probably some
And
details on
Andor's
the
something
show.
that's also happening.
And Andor, yeah.
They have a lot of footage.
Are they-
filmed,
are they
Oh,
done?
yeah. Oh, I
Not
hope we
done,
see some
right?
visions
Filming?
too.
They even had that whole like featurette thing that included them, like the making of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
on
yeah.
Disney
Yeah, yeah.
Plus.
But they're deep into production on that. Like,
Yeah.
I would be surprised if we didn't
Yeah.
get anything.
Star Wars is about to go so hard again, man. It's really about to go hard.
2022. We're nonstop Star Wars. Literally, like
Literally, yeah.
it's insane. It's
And-
it's gonna be.
Two
Too many
messages
things,
on.
yes.
You're right, Lavelle. I'm just too scared to do it. I'm too scared to mess around with the stream stuff because once I mess it up, I don't know if I can fix it.
Just try it, Dylan. Just try it. Come
Okay,
on.
what do you say,
Bear
Mike?
with
Hold
us.
alt
We
and
should-
drag. Oh, it's working.
That'll
Thank
be
you.
that'll be
Thank you, Lavelle.
$75, please, for my consultant fee. Yes,
Thank you,
Save.
Lavelle.
AV.
Aiden,
consultant.
is Echo technically still an ARC trooper? I think maybe in his heart, but no, I don't think he's considered an ARC trooper anymore after his
Yeah.
injuries.
I don't really think that.
Oh no,
are
Echo.
troopers anymore.
He's like all Bad Batch now.
Yeah, he's
Right.
bad. He's full bad.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
bad. He
Baddie.
went bad.
Echo's a baddie.
Ooh, look.
He's
I'm
not
gonna
bad. He's
stream
not
alt.
like he's evil. but
Oh
he's
yeah,
a
that's
baddie.
another kind of like ominous thing to think about is what's Echo's fate gonna be. Like I feel like
Hi, Starkaball. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean like out of all 5 of them,
Echo.
like we kind of think probably Crosshair will meet his end at some point in this season. But
Well, yeah, I
as
mean,
for,
he's gonna
as
be
for
the
the other
main
4,
antagonist,
will
so-
there be any more fatalities? I honestly think Echo is probably on top of that
Hmm.
list.
He's died like 3 times.
Yeah, he's been
already
to the
died.
edge
I
and
don't want
back
him to die
again.
again. Yeah, I don't know if they do that, to be honest. I don't know if they just like he would just be the the clone that dies and comes back to life.
That's kind of like the
Kind of
function of
thing.
like the clones to begin with, though, is the like you can name certain ones and then like not have them die for a while, like 5s or whatever, so that like it really hurts when they do die, and then like all the other ones are just disposable because they don't have it's like
Ooh, Jumpy just put a really good interesting question in the chat. Do you think Echo knows that Fives is dead?
yeah, he didn't even ask in season 7, did he?
I thought
Does
that
he-
would be it. I thought that would have been an emotional moment.
Yeah.
Like
We
they were
might get it.
maybe he was just too like distracted,
I
like
wonder if
having
they'll do it
just
in this
been
show.
like completely dead, that he didn't like Rex. His first thought wasn't "Where's Fives?" Like
Where's Fives? Yeah.
Maybe-
nah,
maybe he
I don't
should've.
know. I don't know. I feel like again, we know that Rex.
I hope soon,
feel like
Cody.
Rex
I
and
hope
him would
soon.
have that conversation. So I mean, we know Rex isn't going to be on the show, so I feel like that could still happen.
Yeah, Cody,
That
we know
emotional
that they're
scene.
working on it. Like, it's definitely been confirmed. Just as to when, hopefully we'll see some stuff at E3 with EA, but there has been
Oh.
some unpromising leaks that Ben Gibbs, I don't know if he's still here, but he was telling me the other day. Apparently they're not showing anything Star Wars, which probably isn't true, but from what the leaks, these are like, I have no sources here other than word of mouth. But apparently there's a trusted leaker for stuff like that that has revealed that nothing Star Wars is coming.
Are we a Scoops channel now?
Well,
We-
that was
oh,
like
yeah.
a very shaky scoop, so I don't know. I don't know if we.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
It could be
Go
at
ahead.
May 4th that we get stuff. So
Yeah,
that's-
I
that's
think-
I think
I
no,
think
it's
so.
exactly, and I think we're actually gonna see some Skywalker Saga Lego Star Wars stuff because I don't know if you.
I hope so.
I don't know if you
I
know
hope
this,
so.
but on Twitter now, when you do hashtag Skywalker Saga, there's a little emoji with it, which usually comes with, like the Mandalorian. When you do that, there's a little emoji. So maybe we're inching closer.
I don't know if you know this,
Hmm.
Mike, but us youngins, we like the Legos, and there's
The
always
Lego-
one Lego
the
game.
The
that
Lego-
really
yeah.
I like
gets
the,
us
I like the
going.
Lego.
The
Yeah, I
Lego
like the
game is
Lego.
gonna be insane though. We can't even.
The
I don't even know if
pancake
Mike
scoop.
can.
Yeah,
Mike
exactly.
Well,
can
I
deny
have
that.
I have a 3-year-old at home, so I'm
Yeah.
Legos are not my favorite thing right now.
Well, I think
Straight up.
I think that was good talk about the Bad Batch, but I actually am really excited to talk about Visions because I think Visions.
Man,
we
I'm
were
so
talking about a
excited
little
for
bit on Jedi
Visions, man.
Time.
So much potential,
Like,
man.
I
there's
hope we get
so
some
much potential.
crazy. So
Do
I
you
just,
know what? Is it supposed to be like hour-long episodes, or what? How long are they
no
going to be?
idea. I don't know.
I think that this
I-
might be one of those series where it's totally variable. There could be
Yeah.
an hour-long episode. There could be a 15-minute episode. Like
So-
it's totally dependent upon the creator's vision on what they want.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So Visions
really
is
excited about that.
basically anime-inspired Star Wars like stories, basically, and anime Star Wars. What it is.
Yeah,
The
it's
style
not. It's not.
is
Yeah, it's not.
varying,
Anime,
right?
It's not. Yeah, it's not anime inspired. These are literal
are-
Japanese studios
Yeah.
making
And-
Star Wars.
Oh,
Their
okay.
own
So
story.
It is.
I
Anime
was.
Star Wars.
Did you ever see Love, Death, and Robots?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what I was
It's-
gonna
it might
bring
be
up.
I
that
was gonna
kinda
say like a
that
Star
thing,
Wars
yeah.
version of that would be so sick, right?
That's what it's gonna be, man.
Varying styles of animation,
so
storytelling,
me,
and just yeah.
Johnny and some friends just saw the new Demon Slayer movie, and the animation in that was like so solid. And if we get anything like
What's the
that for
studio?
Star Wars, UFO Table. I don't.
That'd
I
be
think they're
sick.
too busy working on Demon Slayer that they'd even have time for Star Wars. But I'm thinking we
alright.
could get studios like
Oh, you
Wit,
could get
they did-
Revan. Revan could be in Vision.
right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Levi, correct? You told me this the other day, but wasn't kind of the statement about it that it spans through like 25,000 years of
Yeah.
history?
Kathleen-
Aiden Talks just said that. Aiden
Oh,
Talks
Star
Kathleen
Wars.
Kennedy specifically
Yes.
mentioned that it's 25,000 years of Star Wars history, and I can read. Let me read you the official sort of wording that she used.
And
She
Mandy-
said presenting.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Presenting all new creative takes on the galaxy far, far away, Star Wars Visions will be a series of animated short films celebrating Star Wars through the lens of the world's best
Short
anime
films,
creators.
So.
Short
The
films,
anthology
right.
collection will bring 10 fantastic visions from several of the leading Japanese anime studios, offering a fresh and diverse cultural perspective to Star Wars. And then there is an image that they displayed that honestly isn't shown enough, but John, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Let me.
I'll just put it up there.
Sure.
Yep. Mandy Sherritt says, my kids loved the Lego Star Wars games when they were younger. I am no longer labeled as a kid, although I feel like one, and I love the Lego Star Wars games. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Lego game. I mean, like
It's gonna be
again, I
fun.
know it's Lego, but you gotta like, you can go to any planet. They have like, what was it, like 500 characters, like over 500 characters.
yeah, something
Right?
like that. And you can play as
Like
Yaddle.
that.
That's all that matters. We should play
And
on stream or
Yaddle.
something, man.
Yaddle's in it.
Could have
Hey,
some fun.
Levi, last Fool Killer has a question about something you were talking about last week about like when Vader turns people into Inquisitors and when that Inquisitorium
Around.
lands on the timeline.
Well, almost immediately. Sorry, I was looking at my phone. I was trying to send this image to John.
Because we were talking about Barisafi and how she might be the main character that we see get like an arc in terms of like the Inquisitors side of things.
So about right after episode, because so while the Jedi are during the Clone Wars, Palpatine is as Chancellor, not as the Emperor yet, is like when Jedi have these disagreements, he's fomenting this sort of distrust in the Jedi, even from within the Order themselves. So a lot of Jedi during the Clone Wars are like, hey, this isn't good. I don't want to be this way, and he's able to turn them to the dark side, some of them. And so as soon as Order 66 happens, there's a couple dozen Jedi who are ready to turn against the Jedi and fight for something else. And so almost immediately he brings Vader and be like, here you go. I have a bunch of Jedi. Make them my tools. And so Vader starts almost immediately training the Inquisitors. And from there, they hunt Force-sensitive children. They hunt Jedi, other threats to Palpatine's power, so like Darth Maul. The Inquisitors hunt Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
And they exist to around about the time of A New Hope.
Is the Darth Maul is like secluded in that temple, or like that's when we first run into him again in Rebels, on the timeline from where we
No,
last saw him.
no,
Oh wait, no,
it's-
Solo is the last place we saw him.
Yes, but
Oh.
at that point from the point in Solo to where he gets in Rebels, he's had some sort of fight with Darth Vader and the Inquisitors that has got him to that point. Because
Yeah.
if you like look like his lightsaber, Maul's lightsaber is actually half an Inquisitor's lightsaber.
Oh, that's right. It has like that extra
It has the
semicircle on
curved
it.
blade.
Yeah.
Curve,
And
yeah.
so he's been like getting.
You don't think it's a helicopter saber, do you?
No, I don't think
Oh
so.
man. Oh.
But I
That was
think
the
that's
one bad part of that amazing episode, man.
It's like
I think
Come on,
that's-
The Apprentice.
They fly away.
like
yeah.
they
Yeah.
fly now. Really?
That's right up there with
They
R2D2
fly
having
now.
thrusters in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, R2D2 flies
he
now?
can fly. Yeah.
All right.
And what
I
isn't the
guess
explanation like they don't build the parts anymore for his thrusters or something, or is that just like a people like to say that
Yeah, I don't know. I think people like to say that. I think Star Wars is just really into making things fly. I think
they
that's-
fly
that's the
now?
theme. I think that's the
I bet
theme.
Levi loves that joke.
All right, Don, I'm gonna screen
No.
share again. Are you ready?
Yeah, man.
Okay, here we go.
I hate it,
Um,
but, like-
so this is the Visions picture. If you guys want to see it, I actually completely forgot about this picture too. So here we go. Oh, I'm
Ooh,
gonna
it's not
move
looking
myself.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
that low quality. But if someone
know.
says,
Oh my
Charac-
God.
Oh,
Character design on the left.
Wait, Johnny, you're moving it on. Oh wait, never mind. Okay,
So
let me
it's
make
up-
this smaller.
if this is
so
on
this
the
is
stream,
cool.
This is
if someone
rough.
could identify what anime that this is from, like the because they used an image. Go over it. They used an image.
Oh,
sort of
that's
in
not
the
from the
triangle.
actual end product. You mean that's like an
Yeah,
existing
like
it-
they,
is it
they
not
used
from
work by whatever studio is
like
going
they
to be
used
doing.
they
Yeah.
used it looked good for a second there. Yeah, like they used a photo as an example to represent one of the studios they're making. And if someone is smart enough to identify what project that's from, we can figure out maybe one of the.
We got any
studios who's working
weeaboos in the
on that, like-
chat? Might be able.
Yeah,
to...
we were
Is that
talking
is that
about
not
It
a
would be
picture
amazing
of one
if
of the Star
Studios
Wars things?
Ghibli was on the list.
Yeah, it seems so unrealistic, but I think that
Let's-
this is
I
a
want
total,
Totoro to be an official Star Wars Galaxy species.
This is a total
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
that's
guess,
perfect, Don.
But Wit, who did I believe they're Wit Studios or WIT, they did Attack on Titan before they gave it to Mappa for season 4, and I don't think they're too busy, so I think they might.
Wrench. Ew, Kathleen Kennedy, get her off the screen, bro.
Did you just do this?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, like, and he put the
Stop
logo
it,
over her
Mike.
face.
What? Oh no, the
Alright,
logo
well,
on there. No,
that was it. I mean-
that wasn't intentional or anything. It's just
The sketches are pretty cool here too. I think this must be from a different anime, but obviously with the same studio, but pretty cool though. Or maybe this
And
is a new
so-
character. Do we know?
Well,
I
that
don't- I don't
character
know.
design is definitely the one on the left. That's definitely that's probably from the actual project.
Okay, so you thought, yeah. I
And
agree.
so
So it was in the
more-
design stage there, and it's a
I
it's a
thought the
character
thing
design.
within the triangle there. I thought when I first saw that, I thought that was from one of the things.
Yeah,
that are
that's what
being
I
made.
thought,
'Cause
too,
It kind of
yeah.
looks like he's using like the Force on. I don't know.
It
It's
could be,
like
I
what
mean,
Cal
it could
They,
be.
Kestis
the
does.
styles look like they match too, like the what is it, cherry blossoms, or what is the like the Japanese
Yeah,
tree you see
Japanese-
there and all that.
And we
Match-
saw that in Clone Wars, so that does exist in the Star
I
Wars.
don't know.
universe.
I
Oh,
think,
it does it?
I think Star Wars and
Yeah.
anime really that's gonna be something awesome. So. I'm
And
very,
some
very
more
excited.
insight onto the show is so there's a tie-in novel coming out, and it's called Star Wars Ronin. And so a Ronin on Earth planet is was a samurai in ancient Japan without a shogun, so like a rogue samurai. And so Ronin in the context of Star Wars could be like, kind of like Ahsoka, like a rogue Jedi, like a Jedi without a cause, without a master. And I think that if the name of that and like everything that's being evoked by everything surrounding Visions, I just think it could be really, really cool.
Oh God,
Ooh.
you could do some super cool Sith like master.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh,
And,
like
like, the
master and
Force?
apprentice type, like
Yeah, imagine what the Force is gonna look like in anime, like.
but
that
like
just
with like
excites me.
katanas style.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude.
Kieran
be
Halliday,
really
I
cool.
hope I'm saying that right, points out that it kind of looks like Sifo Dyas there, and I mean probably a
Oh,
stretch, but I don't know. I think I can see it.
I can.
Yeah,
I don't know if-
I just realized the
Realized,
dark
yeah.
saber is slightly curved, isn't it? It's
The
kind of
dark-
like it's kind of like a not like a cutlass,
Uh,
but it definitely
oh.
has like a little bit of a rounded edge to it on one side, right?
it's more angular.
Yeah,
I
it's
think. more
angular, yeah.
katana.
It has like one
Yeah.
straight edge and then like a curved edge.
Yes.
Personally,
yeah,
yeah.
like
It has
I
more of like a knife look to it than it has
Yeah.
like like a
Yes.
long
more of
knife.
a knife.
Yeah.
I hope
So
we
you
get
could, I think you
something-
could theoretically have like a katana style lightsaber, like that would be dope.
Well, imagine we get something within
like
the
Ahsoka's
Mandalorian
have the
Wars.
curved handles, right? She has the like katana style
Yeah.
handle.
If
Yeah.
they do
Yeah.
some
Like, the blades are
Mandalorian
still
stuff-
straight.
The blades
though.
are
Yeah.
standard Jedi.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
bring our faces back on screen.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back. All right, ready, Dylan? You gonna?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just take. Oh god. Oh, a lot of
Yeah.
work. A lot of work. We need someone to produce this.
Producer. All right.
Yeah, I'm
Aaron,
excited
Producers,
though
we're
for
not
the
gonna pay you,
possibilities.
but
all right. Well, yeah.
I'm excited though, over so small, for the possibilities of like this because they're not interconnected. Like as the description says, it's 10 short films, so it's totally 10 different narratives, and that's really exciting.
Aiden talks Star Wars Tar Vizsla envisions. Yes. Dude.
Oh,
I know,
yes,
perfect.
that'd be a great vision.
Oh my God! Could you imagine? That'd be sick.
So sick. Yeah.
Oh.
And also because
God
like the
damn
only
it.
thing we have on Tar Vizsla is an animation already from Rebels, right?
Yeah.
Where they're showing the like story of Tar Vizsla,
Yes.
Like the hieroglyphics, yeah.
and it's Oh,
It's in
yes.
Trial of the Darksaber in Rebels.
Yeah. Man, that would be oof.
That'd be
Ren
crazy.
just said we need a lightsaber axe.
Oof.
Ooh,
That would be
Whole
cool.
lightsaber.
I mean,
axe.
Lightsaber
I'm getting
axe.
excited
You
just
can get
thinking
that
about
over at what's it called, Saber Forge. We're not.
Oh, those
sponsored.
I think we're
But-
sleeping on
Yeah,
visions,
not
man. I think
No,
there's a lot
we are
of
sleeping
Yeah.
vision.
There's
For
giving
some
me a
reason,
lot
I
of
was under the
boner.
impression that it wasn't gonna be like canon stuff. I don't know. I thought it was just gonna be like its own.
I think it's
Like-
gonna be a mix.
I honestly don't even care. I would
no,
take
me
it
neither.
either.
Me neither.
Yeah, yeah.
But it just like I don't know. It was definitely one of my least hype things, but now I'm starting to get pretty excited for it.
If anyone in the chat or anyone on the panel is like a big Halo fan in the Halo universe, which is the series of video games which I'm sure you're familiar with, they did a series called Halo Legends, and it was a series of different short animes of different various lengths from various different studios, and that stuff is so dope. And like knowing what a pretty big property can do when they give creators just like free reign in their universe to be like, cool, make a cool story. It is some of the coolest stuff that has been made that I've seen. I think it's super cool.
That is very
Acolyte,
true.
Yeah, we were talking about how you could easily have like a Sith Master Apprentice story in the Acolyte, but obviously I'm sorry, not in Visions, but Acolyte is like specifically about that, right? It's supposed to be like a female apprentice, right?
I don't know.
A Sith apprentice.
It could be just a female dark
Yeah,
side user, and
I
someone.
think it's just a lead. I think there was just there's a female lead.
Yeah, and otherwise it could be that.
Because
like,
isn't an acolyte like isn't that another word for like a
like
student?
a follower? It's like a follower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
But
that
I
makes
think-
perfect sense.
Acolyte though implies to me more like someone who's like a worshiper of the Sith. Like the people you see in Episode 9.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like those
okay.
are like acolytes, and I
almost
think
like
that,
Knights of Ren, kind of.
like Knights of Ren.
Yeah, yeah. They're not.
And I think that the show we could see some real Sith. I think the show might end because it's dark side with like the real Sith taking out the acolyte.
Yeah,
Like,
and there's
just
also
a
that whole stadium full of people in the end of
and
Rise.
Exegol. Yeah, that's what I'm
Right,
talking about. Like
right.
those
Yeah,
those are like cultists, like acolytes.
Gotcha.
Like that's
Well,
like,
no,
that's like,
the show's gonna focus on the Jedi, but obviously, there'll be effects of the Sith. Obviously, there will be a focus on the Sith, but the main like leads will be a Jedi. I mean, am I right?
I don't
No,
know.
no,
I don't
I
think so.
honestly
Yeah, I
think-
don't think so.
No,
Oh, you don't
the
think
dark
so?
side.
Oh,
or at least
Oh.
somebody struggling with the dark side, or it's definitely going to be a.
yeah. No,
Maybe
I
we'll
think,
see somebody turn, and then that. I love the potential for having remember when Rogue One came out and then like everybody dies at the end. Sorry, spoiler warning. But if you haven't seen Rogue One,
5-year-old movie.
honestly, why are you
6-year-old
here?
movie, yeah.
Yeah. But right, like everybody dying in the end, it was almost refreshing. It was like, oh, that was great. Like that wasn't how movies typically.
that was
end.
great. They all died. They
Yeah,
all
yeah.
perished.
But like you hadn't gotten so invested in them that you were like, oh, like so, it was like you were okay with everybody dying, and it was like,
Cassian Andor's gonna make me.
and the fact that it flows perfectly in A New Hope,
Retroactively.
like that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
No,
yeah,
I was under the impression that it was gonna focus on the Jedi, but obviously there would be mainly focus on the Jedi and kind of in the High Republic, and no,
I don't know the way that
Night
was present-
Sister. Oh, good call. Yeah, that would be cool.
Night Sisters, yeah.
the way that it was presented with like the red logo and the red lightsaber slash
Mother
through
Townsend.
it, like I don't think there's any chance that it would be a Jedi lead. I think we'll get a Jedi perspective, but I don't think
Okay.
I think it's main
Yeah.
dark side.
Yeah,
Hmm.
And the reason
Yeah,
Aiden,
yeah.
said not to sleep on it, but
yeah, or
I
even
just
like
think it's
a
a while before
Inquisitor
we're
type
getting it.
story, like a story of
Yeah, no,
corruption.
we got plenty of time. So
like a Sith Lord like corrupting somebody and turning them into their lapdog or whatever.
yeah,
But-
so maybe I'm thinking more just like there will be a Jedi lead, but obviously they'll be kind of teetering between the light and the dark, and maybe I think they'll probably go to the
we'll
dark.
see in
Yeah, right? No.
it's gonna be Brie Larson as
Well,
Avar Chris.
yeah.
Right?
Avar Chris's
What,
will
Brie
be
Larson?
dead
what?
by that point.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
she-
it's after?
It is after
This is the
Avar
end.
Chris's time.
It's the end
Oh,
of
okay.
the
So
High
Avar Chris is the beginning of the.
This will be like about 150 years after
Okay.
what we're
Yeah.
reading right now.
Yoda will be
what,
there.
what you're reading right now.
What I'm reading,
Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
We as fans.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah,
No,
Master-
Levi is actually the only one reading the High Republic right now. So.
I am literate, so I can't.
Yeah.
If you want to check out so the creator of the show, Leslie Headland, the showrunner, she did an interview about at this point it might be 6 months ago.
Yeah,
plus.
6 months ago. It was when they did the investors,
Darth,
right?
Darth Jar Jar.
She did an interview with
My
I
favorite
believe
theory.
it was a woman called Frankie, and you can look up that interview. And if you want like an insight onto the way she's approaching the show, it's a really great listen. It's only about 45 minutes long, I think, and she gives some really cool Star Wars insights, the way she's approaching making the show, and like what the vibe she wants is. And it got me much more excited for the Acolyte.
So they're kind of going for like a horror, not horror, but like a thriller type of feel, right? With the Acolyte, is that what Kathleen Kennedy said?
Yeah, I think she
Yeah.
did say thriller.
Yeah,
didn't
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like it was a
Thriller.
thrill. I'll pull up the exact quote.
Dude, awesome.
So where does Geode fall into this?
what if that's like a murder mystery?
Is Geode the Acolyte?
Yes.
It's Geode.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Oh yeah, did they mention Geode's like species or
Yeah,
whatever?
give us
it
the
is?
Geode update.
He's a
Levi.
he's a
Levi-
Vincian.
Dude,
VI
no, but I meant like the fact that he's a rock. Does that mean he's basically immortal?
No, I think it's more like think of like how kyber crystals are like alive. quote
Alive.
unquote.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah,
It's
it's
like, that's the way I read. Like it's because I've been saying this a lot, but in Empire Strikes Back, Yoda's like, the Force, it flows through the trees, the rock,
that's
the
true.
ship,
That's
and it's
true.
like I think it's, and he's
The
not like a
Force.
huge part of the book, and so I think it's just more of like a Claudia Gray was inserting an allegory about the way the Force is in everything, and that's the
Yeah.
way it reads in the book. Because
So
most of the
it's
time,
almost
it's just a
like an
joke.
alternate kyber crystal. Then it's like a
Geoda's
something
king.
cooler.
Geode is a king.
John-
Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, I have. May I read this?
You may.
Leslie Headland, Emmy Award nominated creator of mind-bending series Russian Doll, brings a new Star Wars series to Disney Plus with The Acolyte. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take
Let's
the
go.
audience into a
Mystery.
galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging
That's why I
dark side
think it's
powers.
the Jedi. I don't know.
Final days of the High Republic.
Maybe it's just like Yoda, like Sherlock Holmes type.
Or
deal.
yeah, no, maybe it could
Like
be
the Jedi are acting
like
as
the-
detectives.
like the Sith should be gone or whatever, and maybe there'll be evidence of like Sith activity, like,
Yeah.
and then they'll be like trying to
It'll be
figure
a
out
slow
where is
burn.
this, where is this Sith activity coming from?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was under. the
And it could
impression
even
of.
be like a
Like
like a Voldemort type situation where like maybe like somebody's trying to like resurrect.
Plagueis.
Yeah,
Plagueis is
Plagueis,
around during
yeah.
this time.
Yeah, so yeah, it could be that kind of stuff, dude. Right?
Live action Plagueis.
Yeah, after I
Ugh.
read the Darth Plagueis book, one of the first things I said
Like-
when I was able to talk about it was like, you could name that book The Acolyte. Like that book could be called The Acolyte. With like
Right.
the
They're
way
trying to get all the pieces together, all the Horcrux types, whatever that they need to like raise them from a different, from like the time beyond or whatever it is from Rebels.
Each
Yeah,
time
it's
Levi
not-
does
I saw
the
it.
Yoda voice, we gain another.
The
soul.
world beyond, right? Is that what it's called?
The World Between Worlds.
The world between,
Between
worlds.
Worlds,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think we're going back there ever again.
No.
honestly. That was a
Well,
one-time thing.
What do you think? It doesn't the Ahsoka kind of picture they showed kind of give us a little bit of hint that there's some
A
World
little
Between
bit,
Worlds action?
yeah, a little
I'm
bit.
not
Logo
a,
is a
I,
bit-
I think it worked for what it was. I'm not a huge fan of time travel in Star Wars, but
I think that's a Dave Filoni thing. That's just like
Yeah.
if you're not
The
Dave Filoni, you're not
don't
touching
touch
it.
it. Don't touch
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Almost
I-
like Ahsoka herself. Like
Yeah.
it's Dave. Let
Yeah,
Dave
I
do it.
think it's gonna deal with, because I mean, Ahsoka was stuck in there for a good amount of time, and she at the time of Mando, she just kind of came out. So I think we're gonna probably, I think the World Between Worlds will be used, maybe as a little more about for flashbacks about what her experiences were like during the original trilogy time. So I think that's more what it's gonna be. I don't know if I don't know if they're gonna have a story that's about
Really?
the World Between Worlds. I think it's obviously going to be the hunt for Throne and eventually the hunt for Ezra as well. So I think that's more what the focus is going to be. Again, elements of the World Between Worlds, sure, but I don't think they're going to go back or anything like that. So
It would be great to get Ahsoka and Grogu to interact again too at one
Yeah.
point because
That would
And
be
Luke.
sweet, yeah.
they definitely
Luke.
bonded.
I want to
with
see
I
each
really
Ahsoka
want-
and
Yeah,
Luke.
man.
Luke
Don't
and
be
Oh,
Ahsoka.
okay.
100 that no, like if they don't ever touch that, like what are they thinking? That is
No,
a
it's-
necessary interaction. That is like
100%.
Yeah, Luke
Dream
and Ahsoka like
interaction.
campfire
Yeah.
talk about
other than
Anakin.
like unexpected
Yes,
things
man.
that we
Ah,
can't
give it
predict
to
right
us.
now. That's probably the next like Luke moment.
They
Like,
know we
got
want that. They know. We want
Mandalorian finale. Like that's that's gonna be the next peak in like
that. Yeah. I mean, I
everybody
just
being happy at the same time.
Because
Kind of thing.
Ahsoka doesn't know that Anakin got redeemed.
right. I just
Yeah.
want to
Luke-
see her
Luke and
find that out.
Ellen.
So
Oh, you
bad,
know
like,
what?
I feel like-
Also Hayden and Ewan McGregor having an interaction.
Yes.
in the
Oh,
Obi-Wan
having
family.
a show about them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
I
even
mean, that's been
interaction.
theorized to heck.
You know what? I don't honestly think it is going to be a whole show.
Not yet, Master.
I think the Ewan McGregor might even be limited, right? In Obi-Wan, because we've been talking about how Cody might end up being an antagonist to Obi-Wan, right?
There's been reports that he's in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think the show is primarily going to be.
Because
a
would you
split
rather
Vader
see
Obi-Wan
like
narrative.
Obi-Wan have to kill Cody or Rex have to kill Cody? Like,
This will
Right,
be
it's true.
the closest thing to like Star Wars 3.5.
Well, here's the
I
thing.
think.
Do we think
Pretty much what it's.
Yeah,
Do you
I
think
guess.
we're getting
I
kind of
mean,
like a dyad situation, kind of with Rey and Kylo with Obi-Wan and Vader, or do you think they're actually
I thought
gonna
that.
meet?
That was
like,
an idea I had.
because I mean, I'm not huge on them
no, they're
actually
meeting.
seeing each other.
But they are meeting. Yes.
I think
they
they're
are
meeting.
meeting.
But like
No.
in
Yeah,
like
the dyad
flesh,
thing
like
is
in the
supposed to be a
flesh.
like once in a billion year kind of thing, right? It's not
Right.
like a.
Well, I didn't.
it
I didn't mean
happened
exactly
30 years ago.
specifically the
like, 60
dyad.
years
I-
but-
I-
No, I know what
I-
Dylan meant. I know what Dylan.
I
Like
theorized
visions,
that it could have
basically.
been. I theorized that could have been like maybe like what jump started this kind of them Kenobi going off planet. But
Right.
again, there's other theories like Qui-Gon Jinn is the reason or whatever else.
I'm
but-
not
That's
huge
my
on them
theory.
meeting in person.
Yeah.
Considering like A New Hope, I kind of like the idea that that's the first time they've really, been together in the flesh since. But
There's easy
But,
workarounds.
but since
with that,
all he
though.
says is I felt the presence I haven't felt since. He doesn't
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can explain it, I think, pretty well. Because for me, and I was just saying this on Star Cabal's live stream, Obi-Wan,
It can't be on Tatooine though if they do.
no,
Then
no,
Vader
no,
would
no.
know.
Obi-Wan and A New
Right.
Hope. Obi-Wan and A New Hope is like, that guy is more machine now than man, and you gotta kill him. Like, he's gotta die.
well, machine.
The last time we saw Obi-Wan and
He didn't even see the
interact-
machine version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan and interact.
Yoda.
Not only that, but he said to Yoda, "I can't kill him. I can't kill my best friend. I can't do this."
Right.
Dude. And he's like, the whole time he's emotional. In between 3 and 4, we have to see how Obi-Wan can get to, he's redeemable. I think there's still good in him. And like the last thing Padme says before she dies is that there's still good in him. Like, Obi-Wan's gonna try and get his friend back, his best friend back. I think
And
he's gonna-
fail.
I think he's
Oh.
gonna
Right.
fail, and then and then
okay.
he's gotta be like,
I know,
All right,
dude. It's
Luke,
rough thinking
you
about
gotta
it.
kill, because think about it, and it's like there's more like evidence for this in Return of the Jedi. Vader's like, Obi-Wan once thought as you do.
Obi-Wan once.
When?
Yeah.
I want to see that. Like,
Also,
Yeah.
and then that's how we
wasn't
see
thinking that way on
Obi-Wan.
Mustafar.
That's how Obi-Wan, when he's talking to Luke,
Yeah,
he's like,
you're,
"You have
you're
to
spitting
kill
a
him."
lot of truth right now, dude. Those
No,
are all
yeah,
facts
that's
right
what
there.
Levi
Well,
goes, man.
also on top of it, I think, I mean, this is what I'm excited about too, is like, the potential to further solidify their relationship in the use of flashbacks leading up to their eventual actual physical meeting or
Ooh.
confrontation. So I'm saying, maybe even references to episode 3. I'm thinking more Clone Wars. Again, that opens the opportunities for that stuff, which me, big Clone
Yeah, I
Wars
think-
guy.
I just
think
had
we
a
all
thought,
are.
Levi. Like we were talking about how he's gonna fail, but Vader does specify last time. Like he mentions how like last time you were the master and I was, and now I'm the master.
I think it's like a
Yeah.
mutual.
so
failing.
Obi-Wan might actually like defeat Vader in some way.
I think
and
it's
kind
gonna
of
be a
put him back in his
situation-
place. Like not yet, dude.
I think it's going to be like an Ahsoka Vader situation where they both don't know if either of them survive, right?
Yes.
Because I think going forward he can think that he's dead. Because in Rebels when he's like master, he's talking to the Emperor and he's like, "Do you think Obi-Wan's alive? Like, could we find Obi-Wan?" And the Emperor responds, "If he lives." Like that line's there. Like I think there's going to be. But anyway, in terms of the inciting incident, because like I was saying, not only is this his best friend, he made a promise to his master, Qui-Gon, his dying breath, "I will train the boy. He's the chosen one." He messed up. Like, Qui-Gon's going to come to him when he can and be like, "Yo, dude, that kid's the chosen one," because Qui-Gon still believes that. You got to go fix this, And he's going to go set out and be like, "Sorry, Owen, sorry, Baru. You got to watch Luke, and I got to go do this."
So
Like,
that's the avenue for getting Qui-Gon back in the story is the like you promised me kind of.
You promised.
I think
like,
he could
that's
be
the
the
last thing he
catalyst
says to
of
them.
why Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine in the first place too. So
But also, yeah, like at that point, like Obi-Wan is like one with the Force. Like I mean, not Obi-Wan.
well,
Qui-Gon is
Qui-Gon.
probably one with the Force in the way Yoda is in maybe not as intensely as the Last Jedi, like summoning lightning, but like he probably knows
Oh, there are so many, like literally the end of Revenge of the Sith. Yoda's
because
like,
Qui-Gon is right.
"More training I have
Anakin
for you."
does come back eventually. He
more
is the
training.
chosen one.
And then
Right.
and then freaking Obi-Wan's like, "Qui-Gon?" Like that's in the movie. That's freaking
Yeah.
in Revenge of the Sith. There is a tease.
there's
and we saw it
nothing
up in the
that
corner.
came
Like,
out of that.
yeah,
Well,
there is a
in
tease that he's like,
Legends,
"I
maybe,
have Qui-Gon has more training for you."
but- right.
That's
Mhm.
in the freaking movie. Like
Hell
that's in
yeah,
the
dude.
movie.
Yeah.
All right, I got to
oh.
know this, guys. So there was a couple people that just commented, Brent and Lavelle, shout out to those guys, about Do you think we're gonna see Palpatine in
Yes.
Kenobi?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no. Why?
Why?
Why would
Why,
Palpatine be
why would you?
necessary? I don't think so. No,
Did I
because you
go
don't
ahead?
even get him in A New Hope. He's still. It's
He's
kind of
mentioned
like,
though.
yeah.
He's referenced the Emperor
No.
dissolved the Senate.
I don't think he's
No?
necessary. I don't think he's necessary at all because I don't think.
Do you think he'd
I think-
overshadow a scene? I feel like.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna be
This
in
may
any
sound weird, but
scenes.
I'd rather see
Oh.
Cody. I'd rather to see Cody and Obi-Wan have to reconcile with that. You know,
That's
I'm
fair.
talking.
Then-
I'm talking like hologram talking to Vader. Like,
Oh,
yo, dude. I'm not talking like main character in the show. I'm just saying I think he could make an appearance
yeah.
as in Vader's storyline.
Fair. Fair. Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
he's his apprentice.
Dylan, what do you think?
how about Mace Windu?
Palpatine
Yes.
and Palpatine and
Palpatine
Kenobi.
and Kenobi.
Yeah, I agree with what Levi's saying. It would probably be like a hologram or like a quick scene, but I don't think he'd be like too big. He might be like, "You have to kill Obi-Wan."
Do you think we
That's not
get?
how he
I
talks,
think we
but-
pretty much have to get the beginnings of Owen, Lars, like, and Obi-Wan like falling out of favor with each other, right? You have to kind of show.
Yeah,
we know we're gonna see
why
them. We got
Owen
this.
doesn't
We see a lot of
trust
that. We
him.
see a lot of that in the comics. Like
I
it's,
think it's
But
gonna be.
it has to do
because Obi-Wan
something
left.
with like young Luke like being put in danger because of Obi-Wan. That would be the only reason that he would be like, your
Well,
his stupid Jedi ways are gonna get you killed, kind of
and
thing.
there's more.
With-
There's so
Okay,
Sorry,
go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Levi.
John.
We're
No,
gonna
there's
get
no-
Kid Luke, right? It's happening.
Oh,
It has
oh
to-
yes,
yes,
for
yes,
sure.
for sure.
Yes.
We don't. There's no
I think-
casting on that yet, though. It
I
could be
think one
like
of the-
not
yeah.
public yet.
one of the other inciting incidents maybe of the show could be that because Deborah Chow has said there are Jedi hunters in this show in this time. That's the Inquisitors. If the Inquisitors are looking for Obi-Wan can't let them find Luke. So he's like, I gotta
go.
skedaddle and lead
Right.
them away from here. Sorry, Owen. Like, I gotta make this
It's
call.
either that or Cody. I mean, Cody or there actually are going to be. I mean, I think there is going to be an involvement
Do you-
with at
do you
least
think-
one of the Inquisitors, but
Do you think he
Yeah.
calls
Any
in
of
like
the
Ahsoka or
Inquisitors-
something to watch over
the
Luke
Grand
for the time?
Inquisitor maybe cameo too. But
no, but what about Jedi Fallen Order? There's what the Ninth Sisters, that huge one. That's probably a little too hard to accomplish
Ninth Sister is we don't
from
know
a
her
from a
status.
live action
We
perspective.
don't know her status by this point.
But there is
Right.
not Seer, necessarily, but because Seer it doesn't become an Inquisitor. But who was
Jedi-
Seer? What's the name of the girl that
the
Vader killed?
Apprentice,
She's
her
dead though.
apprentice.
No,
She's
but she
dead.
doesn't die until.
Second sister's dead.
Second.
Is
No,
it
I know,
Trilla?
but
Kenobi's after.
Trilla, but that happens a little bit afterwards, doesn't it?
no, before
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before what I said.
Jedi,
after,
Jedi
before.
Fallen Order takes
Yeah.
place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Kenobi takes place
It's
10
10,
years
right.
after.
Oh, okay. So maybe Barasafi live action.
Well, okay.
And
on
Kenobi
that
or
point, oh no, I think on that point, Dave Filoni has made it clear, even when the show was still going, that he had a plan for Barriss. Whether that might be. And I think if we're gonna get Barriss, it's gonna be something that Dave
Bad
is involved.
Bad Batch, maybe. I'm hoping to see some
Probably.
Barriss, or
Yeah,
maybe
you
even
say
Ahsoka somehow.
It's gonna be
like-
animated, you're saying, or it's gonna be?
I'm just something that Dave has involvement in. He
Right.
wouldn't. I don't think he would let anyone touch the character.
Do you
So
think
there-
that Barasafi means that much to Dave Filoni? That
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He said as much. I mean, he
Yeah.
created
Oh,
her. and he's-
okay.
And he, like he said, I got a plan. For
I
the
would like to
character.
have her story cleared up, like what happens with that, because
Yeah. I think that could
100%.
honestly.
you have to admit, like Barasafi, like she put up a damn good fight with Ahsoka and Ventress, who are both like top
And
tier
Anakin, low-key,
warriors.
I mean.
So like,
But she
like
also screwed over.
no,
Ahsoka,
but
yeah.
Anakin goes straight dark side
Right, it's
on
true, yeah.
on Barriss, and that's like he fucking almost kills her,
Chokes
right?
her
He,
into
like,
the tree
throws
or
her-
something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
Here's a quote from Dave Filoni in 2015 Star
And
Wars
it's
Celebration.
freaking Anakin, like of course.
Right,
Like,
right.
Someone-
nobody's gonna beat Anakin.
So someone
True.
asked him
Except
at
Luke.
Celebration. Someone asked him at Celebration what happened to Barriss Offee. This is 2015. Dave Filoni says, in the original script, she died. She commits suicide in her own prison cell, but I didn't want that to be her fate, so I cut that part. I have plans for Barriss.
Thank God. Okay, good.
Right.
That's the quote.
So, if Obi-Wan's leaving Luke, do you think he calls someone in to watch over? Maybe Ahsoka, maybe.
Yeah.
It
that's-
Maybe
could be one
not.
of the new characters.
Could be.
You know, there's
Yeah,
so
because
many
like
new
as we
characters
said,
in
if
this cast.
Obi-Wan does interact in person with Vader at any point, it can't be on Tatooine.
Right.
It has to be somewhere else.
Yeah. What do you
I
think
don't-
one
I
of the
don't
new
think-
characters?
Not watching
would-
Luke. Somebody isn't it? I guess it's
don't-
Owen, right?
Yeah,
Owen
I
the
don't think
Right.
I don't think Obi-Wan's gonna leave probably Tatooine until like episode 2, something like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because you know how Sam and Bucky didn't even speak with each other in the first episode. So like the first episode is gonna establish, Kenobi maybe meeting new people, and then there's some new people in the cast so we don't really know what their roles are gonna be. So I feel like maybe one of those people are gonna probably take over, like watching Luke temporarily.
Right.
So that's probably.
Do you
it,
think
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
get Obi-Wan chopping down some Inquisitors?
We're gonna get some badass fights.
Yeah.
I hope so, man.
So
I
I
think
mean,
it's almost guaranteed we've
Crazy,
seen
yeah.
Inquisitors in the show.
Yeah, right.
She said as
Dude,
much.
I mean, Obi-Wan. This will be our last chance to see Obi-Wan Kenobi with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, we haven't even talked about Qui-Gon is like totally gonna be a thing. Hopefully.
We talked about that a little bit.
Did
but
we?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
maybe
so.
I was off.
Well, no,
Mike-
the Force Ghost thing. The Force
Mike,
Force
have you
Ghost.
heard the concept art descriptions that came from
Of Kenobi.
of
Mhm.
Kenobi that came from the investors meeting? Because they showed a reel to investors, right? So people
Oh, they
have
did?
seen.
No, I didn't
seen
hear
stuff.
It wasn't public, yeah.
So there is one of the concepts is of Anakin in the Jedi Temple during Revenge of the Sith, like cutting down some Jedi. One of them is Vader on like a throne in his castle on Mustafar, and then the other ones are like Obi-Wan and like
John, yes.
yeah, like
yes.
Obi-Wan on like
This is
away
all I
and-
want. This is all
like
I
there's
want.
we got a lot of
Yes,
quotes. We got a lot
check,
of quotes from
check.
that, and so we know that Obi-Wan is leaving and they're gonna fight. And there's, like,
I just wish it was
Waterworld
Clone
stuff.
Wars concept, but I mean, I think that's still gonna
Well,
happen.
here's the
regardless.
thing. Here's something I told to John privately when we were talking about. I think I don't think there are gonna be too many flashbacks, but I think the show could cold open with something that is in the prequel era, so to sort of establish the connection between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Like either have a Clone Wars thing showing them in the heat of battle, or showing that like it starts with the Jedi Temple sequence. Like,
Dude,
goddamn.
what if you
Anakin's-
open on Order
Anakin's gone.
66 and we see Anakin? Because there is going to be.
And
that
then
scene
it
where
and then it
Anakin's
sort of
gone.
and then it sort of cuts to Obi-Wan in his
Kenobi.
bed, like thinking about it. Like,
True. Yeah.
like goddamn. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
boy, is this weighing
Um,
heavy on me.
It's gonna.
Mandy just asked a question. Sorry. So actually, don't go first.
Well, I
I'll-
was just
I'll-
gonna say,
I'll
like,
cover it after.
yeah, it's gonna like as badass as this is gonna be with lightsabers and flips and tricks. It's gonna be an emotional, like, heart wrenching story. as
Oh
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier of Star Wars. I feel like. I mean, it's gonna be much more emotional than Falcon and the Winter Soldier was.
Yeah.
But I
Might
just
not be
kind of
so
compared it. but-
politically forward, but yeah.
that too,
it'll-
but I just think
yeah.
like I don't know I don't really know what my point was there. But anyways, Mandy was saying the potential of Maul. Do you think Maul might turn up in Kenobi? Maybe a flashback. I think
I
the
got a whole thing
flashback
about that.
thing is really the only thing that could be potential. But I mean,
I mean, unless they want
he's not going to be in the story, and we know that Disney's gonna. They're kind of separating themselves from Ray Park. If you guys know the situation.
Mhm.
Well, have they?
So-
They haven't said that though. Like they haven't. Like
it's-
people have gotten
okay.
away with worse.
I'm not going to go into the allegations, but
yeah,
I do
let's
have
not get into.
but I
that.
do have a crazy crackpot theory. You could make it work.
Okay.
If the plot is that if Palpatine tasks Vader to go deal
Oh,
with
yeah.
Maul as a threat, because right, Maul existing in the galaxy is a threat to Palpatine. Like this dude's like a freaking crime Sith Lord. Like he can't let that happen. So he's like, yo, Vader, go get Maul. Everything I said before about Obi-Wan wanting to redeem Anakin, that also happens. And so they all like three-way meet up and they have like a fight that all their stories eventually converge, and they have a fight in which all three of them sort of fall away, and that's why you see Maul in his place in Rebels. He's afraid of Vader. He knows Vader, but he also knows that Kenobi is alive, and he's like, shit, I got nothing left. My whole purpose is trying to find Kenobi. He kicked my ass again. Like, this is my entire existence now. I've lost
Why do you
everything.
come to this place.
And like
Mhm.
that could, I don't know, like if you wanted to do that, I think that could work. I don't think they're doing that. I think this is
Yeah.
gonna be
That'd be
focused
sweet.
on. I think this is
I
gonna be
like
focused
that
on
a lot,
Anakin.
though.
I think this would be focused on Anakin and Obi-Wan. But if you wanted to do it, I think there is.
Just to
This
throw it
is
in.
the Anakin and Obi-Wan show. I do think. Yeah, I think they are going to kind of step away from Maul. I think in the I mean, maybe we'll get nods to Maul, but I don't think he'll be directly seen in the show.
Perhaps you are.
Even though I
predicting
want that, I
something.
think everybody wants
So
that.
so wait a minute. When we like
Someone.
when we first meet Luke in A New Hope and he runs it, like he treats Ben Kenobi, as he knows him, as this like nomad, but he never really specifies whether they've ever run into each other at any point ever. He just kind of like knows him on the periphery, like he's heard stories of him, or like they've seen him in the distance, kind of thing. That seems more likely than, because I'm just wondering if Luke and Ben are going to have any interaction in like where they speak to each other. Not in the like, oh hi, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm going to be your Jedi teacher. Like, but like, how does Luke know kind of who Ben Kenobi is at that point in A New Hope, unless he kind of maybe even had some sort of close contact with him?
Well,
at
because you
some
think
point.
Owen might not even talk about him, right? Because they kind of have that like disconnect or different opinions. So
like, as in like, if he's gonna be like watching Luke from afar, like from like for like a protective standpoint, is he like in the same way that Luke runs into trouble with the Tuskens and Obi-Wan has to come in and save his ass.
Right. Like,
and
who's
then-
to say that's the first time?
Is he gonna like get into trouble as a young kid and Obi-Wan will come swoop in?
Well, I don't know.
and
Is this
save the day
explored
and
at
be
all in
like-
that Kenobi comic? Like, has he like been actively protecting Luke, or just kind of watching over him? And the Tuskens was the first time he's really come into trouble, where Obi-Wan had to step in.
In the comics, you know, you were talking about Owen and you know, sort of disagreements with Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's trying to take a backseat because Obi-Wan is like, "Hey, Owen, I want to train Luke," and Owen's like, "You don't want to lose another Skywalker. You've already, you know, messed up one.
Right,
I'm not
yeah.
letting you have this one." So Obi-Wan's like, "Damn, that sucks."
Right
So
where
he
it
has to
hurts.
sort of like stay behind the scenes as like a
watchful protector.
well, as like a watch for like a Batman, you know, from the shadows, taking care of business, you know, fending off Jabba's thugs, like that kind of stuff. And whenever Luke's in trouble, but like he still sometimes gets involved, and Owen gives him some tough shit about it because like Owen's just like, dude, I don't want any of this involved in my life. Like you have brought
Did you
so much.
Did you see the Kenobi fan film?
The Jamie Costa one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent film. Yeah, I really liked what they did with Owen and the way they like where it's like, yeah, he like saves their lives and then kind of just says like, "Are you okay?" Like he checks with him, but it's not like a "Hi, I'm Ben Kenobi." He just and then it like they show him like looking at Ben's lightsaber, like, that's interesting. So like I think that would just be cool. Something I know they're probably not going to do that specifically, but it would be cool to have a cool little sort of like foreshadowing hint of like Luke's Jedi future to come in that regard, you know? So like showing hints of like, cause like it would make sense to have Luke like accidentally use the Force like to do something and like not, you know what I mean? Like Luke doesn't have to be aware of the fact that he can like lift objects and stuff because he doesn't learn how to do that until later in life when he's training under Yoda. But like because he's Force sensitive, he might do something or say something or, you know, have an effect on something that's Force related that will be something. You don't think so?
I kind of
I don't
lost
know.
you there for a second. I'm sorry. I started reading.
No,
chat
because
and-
I think in A New Hope, like that's really his first. He's like the Force, you know,
Right.
Like
yeah.
I think he's.
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe he's like a
Kinda
super young
unaware.
kid, but when he's 10 years old, I think he would remember like
Yeah.
if he went on like some sort of crazy.
Because I just
adventure
feel like the way they've
Mhm.
depicted like young, like very young children Force users in the Clone Wars in particular, like they're like their parents are aware of it. Like they're like it's very
But-
like they're
But
using
Owen
the
Owen
Force,
is like putting it down, like deliberately suppressing it.
okay, so there you go.
like
That's gonna
Obi-Wan
be
wants
the-
Obi-Wan wants to train Luke, right? Like Obi-Wan wants to train Luke to defend
So
himself the whole time.
There's your conflict right there. It's him being like, no, he needs to learn this stuff now. Like he needs to be taught, and Owen being like, no, you're gonna get him
yeah,
killed.
you're gonna get him killed. Like you
Yeah.
killed like my stepbrother. Like
Yeah.
Right.
you can't take this kid. Like the Jedi have killed like half of my family. That is not going to be the way it goes. Last Full Killer. This is sort of going back a bit, but
Will we see Tashi Station? Yes.
Yes,
dude.
honestly,
see it.
maybe.
Let's
Good
see it.
call.
the Last
Get
Full
the
Killer.
power-
Honestly,
Bears.
yeah. I mean, like, yeah.
Last Full
Makes
Killer
sense.
asked if we think that Barriss puts her master in that coffin in Rebels.
Yeah,
right?
Is that
Barriss-
Luminara?
Because Luminara is
Right.
like gets trapped by the Inquisitors, and that'd be cool if like they
Yeah.
trick her with Barriss, like, "Hey, Master, I'm still around," and she gets it.
Do you think that being
Ooh,
Kenobi now?
yeah.
Or what
No,
was
no,
it-
no.
what do
I
you-
just want to do it. I just think that is a cool.
Oh, that's a cool
idea. I just
story.
wanna
Yeah,
do
no, it's a cool
that.
idea. I think that's cool.
And I think we would see Tashi Station. I'm not even joking.
Backtrack
Oh, yeah,
We've
no.
seen it.
Yeah.
That is
There's only like 3
pretty
places you
confident.
can be on
Right.
Tatooine that are like, look, you know,
Barris could be a cool.
Mos Espa,
addition
Mos
to,
Eisley,
to what's it
Tashi
called?
Station,
Mos Pelgo. We see Mando
Yeah,
in that
right.
little town.
the Lars homestead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Obi-Wan Kenobi's, what does he say? Oh yeah, the Jungland Wastelands,
Yeah.
and then Jabba's Palace.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
That's it. It's all sand.
Oh wait,
otherwise
what's the
it's-
name of the town in Mandalorian with
It's
Cobb
Mos
Vanth?
Pelgo.
Mos Pelgo.
Mos
Pelgo,
Pelgo.
right.
That's the but we're not gonna go
In
there because that's
in
supposed to be,
Aftermath, it's Freetown, right? I guess it's still
Oh,
kind of it's the
Freetown.
same thing basically, but
would love to see more crate dragon action, perhaps maybe like the
Ooh,
lesser
yeah.
crate this time, so that we get like a more like a
Lizard.
different kind of crate.
You think
Right.
what? Like Obi-Wan would take on a crate dragon? or
maybe
something?
that's why
Yeah.
he learns the scream
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I think he does. Like,
Well,
that's canon that he does.
Levi, isn't
Right.
there one of the concept art pieces was this like kind of monster
That was like it's
Creature.
described as a stingray.
stingray,
Yeah.
right?
It was
And
described.
were people firing at it, or was it like I forget how it went?
Well, there's two
There's
concept
two.
art descriptions that I didn't really mention.
I keep getting them
Kinda-
mixed up.
They're kind of vague. One of them
Yeah.
is just like there is a stingray-like creature over a bunch of slaves, and to me that just sounds like hut exploitation in the desert. Like that's just
Yeah.
what that sounds like. That sounds like some pretty routine stuff that
Yeah.
maybe Ben will just see like. on
That
his
sounds
way.
like space whales to me.
That sounds like
Ooh.
space stuff. But the other one we talked about, it sounds like almost like a Kamino like environment,
Mm.
and it's like really wavy, and there are soldiers firing at a creature.
Live action Kamino again.
Yeah, I don't know if did any of you guys watch Resistance? Levi,
Yes.
did you? Okay.
Yeah, I
do,
did.
do you remember the Bebo creature?
Yeah, yeah.
Bebo
Dude,
creature?
like, yeah, no, there's this like, yeah, you don't need to watch Resistance. It's
No,
not-
I know, I don't.
I wouldn't recommend it.
It's
but
fine.
there is
It's
this
not
like,
bad,
you
it's
know
great.
the what do they call it? Not the Colo clawfish, but the giant like Godzilla underwater in Naboo that comes out.
The Sundo Aqua Monster.
Yeah.
Aqua monster, yeah, that thing is supposed to be
Wait,
like
the
one
bigger
of the
fish?
biggest creatures in the
Yes.
galaxy or whatever.
It's almost
Um,
a bigger fish.
But the Bebo creature in Resistance, that thing was like
That was big.
10 times the size of
Yo.
Godzilla, bro. It was like a Kraken, like Cthulhu type thing. It was like,
Yeah.
right?
I'll take
Yeah,
some Bebo.
actually, I think the first, honestly, Resistance is like half and half for me. There's some.
There was some fun stuff.
I don't know. All I've
It
seen of
didn't go
Resistance
anywhere.
is Mike's reactions, and he's just like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Well, dude, I kind of like the whole second season. I was like, all right, something's gonna happen, and
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
knew like Kylo Ren was gonna show up eventually because they had like teased him, and he was literally in it for like 8 seconds.
That episode
then,
with
like,
like the Sith Temple.
They kept teasing like that they were gonna do Sith like Force related shit. They had those 2 children that were like Force sensitive, and then they went to a Sith temple,
The
but
Gold
none of it
Trooper
ever
looked
led
cool. I
anywhere.
like
They just
that.
like they kept setting up these stories, and then like
I
nope,
watched the first season. I was like,
I think the unfortunate truth about that is that they
the
couldn't
show got canceled, and they were
go anywhere. Like I
Yeah.
think they were
Right.
set out with like this is sort of an in between show. Like we're gonna make more Clone Wars style stuff. Like because this is coming out as Clone Wars season 7 is in production, and they have these plans for like Bad Batch and all of these live action shows. Like Resistance was just like, hey, fill the time slot. You know,
I love that Levi knew the name of the Aqua monster.
Yeah, right.
The only
It's
reason I
just
knew
like-
Colo Clawfish was because
Solo.
yeah, what's his name?
Dryden
Literally
Voss-
just-
Dryden Voss
Dryden
is
Voss
like
specifically
Colo Clawfish.
offers them Colo Clawfish.
Levi is literally Jocasta New. It's insane. Look behind him.
But if you consider how huge that Colo Clawfish was and how
Look at that
hard
guy.
it would be to like fish for that,
Right. If there's something Star Wars that Levi doesn't know, he'll find it for you. There's a lot of that going on.
I got a lot going on up here.
So
Oh,
there's this question going back
Colonel
to
Gascon.
Tiber Gasca.
Neither.
Grr.
Seeing the mall duel again, but in live action. I was interested in talking about this too.
I just don't
because
see
a lot
how.
of people
I'm
want
half and
that.
half on that one because I love the idea, but I also think it was executed so
It was,
perfectly.
also, it
incredible.
just doesn't really make
you
sense.
can't do much better than that.
Right.
Really.
Well, it just doesn't fit
I
though.
agree.
Like in the same context, like that just doesn't make any sense.
I wouldn't mind like they would not do this, but like a short film, or just like even just like a scene that they just put up on like YouTube or something, and they just have like that recreation, maybe from like Maul's perspective, or maybe or like Ezra. I don't know.
I know
I've
there are
heard
some
of that.
deleted or stuff that was cut from the script that kind of gave some. Not that it needed or lacked context,
Yeah,
but there
it
was
was
some
supposed to be a
things
little
that
bit
Maul
longer.
said, that Obi-Wan said, that kind of gave
Yep.
them more defining like character movement. I don't know really how to explain it, but stuff got cut out. I want to see it.
Alyssa or Alice, I'm sorry, Alyssa A.
Alice
Alice
A,
in the
yeah.
chat, and it's just asking if we've seen any of the vintage cartoons on Disney Plus, or like
Of
the old Clone
course.
Wars. What do you guys think?
The
about
old
that?
Clone Wars, yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was my stuff. But
Animated by
besides
the guy that did Samurai Jack. And
Yep.
it's
Andy
beautiful.
Tartakovsky, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tartakovsky.
yeah.
Tartakovsky, yep. And I have not seen Ewoks. I have not
Haven't
seen.
either.
Is it droids?
Droids. Yeah.
Droids. What else is there that I'm trying to think?
Did they got the holiday special on there yet? Not the Lego.
They have
one,
the
but the old
animated.
one.
They have the
No.
animated part of the holiday special. It's
Oh,
called
okay.
"Story of a Faithful Wookiee."
That's right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's
That
when
was
you
the one part
first
that
meet
I
Boba
thought
Fett
was
there, right?
Yeah.
kind of okay.
Me and John
Dylan and I
did a
watched it a
reaction
while
to it,
ago.
and like that
Yeah.
part was kind of dope.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Parts
first time
of
we see
it-
Boba, right?
Han looks weird as
Yeah.
hell
Han,
though.
Han looks kind of like Adam Driver.
I
He's
can
supposed
see
to be
it.
riding a mythosaur too, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
thing that I was talking about was the potential for in Mandalorian season 3 to like if they are mythosaurs
just
still a
can't-
thing.
I thought Mando learning to ride the Blurg was kind of foreshadowing the
Yeah, well,
mythosaur.
no, because yes, exactly. Quill specifically, like your ancestors rode the great
Rode the
mythosaur,
great
and I was like,
mythosaur.
dude, that is totally setting up to ride a mythosaur at some
spoken.
point, right? Do they still exist, or are they supposed to be extinct?
Well,
Because
there
we know
could be one.
Mandalore has been totally.
You know,
so-
Din's
right.
gonna be right. In one.
Imagine
You
like
know
them
it's gonna be-
glassing the planet, kind of like.
We do
They'll
know
figure it
that
out.
like many species in the Star Wars galaxy have been like moved to like different.
extinct, but then they find
Right, yeah.
one. So
Well,
yeah.
no, even like a Rancor's home planet isn't Tatooine; it's Dathomir, right?
Yeah.
I
A
believe.
Dathomirian, right?
Eli,
That-
not Eli, fucking Levi. Can you answer that?
They're not.
Sorry.
It's not Dathomir, is it?
No, I think Rancors are from Dathomir, right?
There are Rancors on Dathomir.
On Dathomir.
Oh, there
I think
are-
that's- I think
they
that's the
are-
whole
I don't know.
planet.
I don't
You
know if
fight
they're
them in
native to
Final
Dathomir,
Fallen
but
Order, right?
They're definitely
No,
on
not
Dathomir.
Rancor.
Oh, you don't fight a Rancor.
Rancor
It's
home.
definitely
planet.
not native to Tatooine though.
Oh wait, yeah, no, it says
Jabba had that thing
Dathomir.
imported.
Yeah, they're Dathomir. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
an
they're
yeah.
from
I think they're
I'm
from Dathomir, bro.
Yeah,
because they're in the
and Felucia, but
and
that's-
Felucia. Yeah,
so-
you can see them in Clone Wars.
They're native
Yeah.
to Dathomir, though. I
native
believe.
to. Yes.
Lavelle,
I think
you
there's
have to see
multiple
Mandalorian,
species.
man. Even
I
like
think
if
So
you're
it's
not the
not
biggest
unlikely
Star Wars
then that
fan,
like a
it's awesome.
mythosaur could be on another planet somewhere other than Mandalore, right?
Of course they
Lavelle, you
could,
gotta watch.
but
I don't know.
they're so deep. But I'm thinking this is a crazy out there
Aiden, you're
theory.
talking about Dirge. I'm a big Dirge stan. So.
Big Dirge stands over
Maybe
here.
the Empire trying to glass
More
Mandalore
Dirge.
has awoken a mythosaur or something, and it's
Dirge and
from the
Kenobi.
underground, and it's about to
That'd
get
be
crazy.
insane. That would be crazy.
What,
Oh my god,
Dirge
you know
and
a
Kenobi?
Dirge
No,
fight
I'm
in
talking
live
about.
action.
I'm talking
Which
about, I'm
one's
talking
the
about
Dirge?
Dirge
So
is a
in,
bounty hunter.
in
Oh.
2003, he's the big guy, like he's got like silver armor, and he like
Yeah, he's
can like
cool.
regrow
Oh.
limbs, and he just had like
Oh yeah.
tentacle shit.
I
yeah.
really want to see Embo. They kind of
Embo.
He's
Embo's
the-
underrated.
somebody with a similar hat in the Mandalorian was in the bar when he first
Yeah,
goes to meet Chief Karga.
Right.
We know
And that
Embo
Constable
survives.
Uvio or whatever
Embo-
that they never
Uvio.
used. Yeah, he kind
Book
of
of Boba Fett.
similar.
Book of Boba
Same
Fett.
species, actually.
Yeah, true.
Same
I think
species.
we're
Oh,
gonna
you
get
mean
a lot
Embo
of.
could show up, right? Because isn't
know,
Embo the
Embo-
one that's supposed to be like, other than Cad Bane, they're like, that guy'll fuck shit up.
Embo is the same species as Constable Zubio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I think we're about to get a lot of
Yeah.
bounty hunter
he
representation.
literally
in,
takes his like
Book of
helmet off
Boba.
and like uses it as like a Captain America shield,
Yeah,
basically.
he throws that.
sweet.
He
And we
launches
know
it.
that
Yeah,
we
it's
know
sweet.
that Embo survives until after the Battle of Endor, so he
Yes.
could be around.
Nice.
As does Dengar, right?
Dengar,
Yes.
Dengar makes
and
it.
Bosk is
Dengar
still
makes it
kicking, right?
Yes, dude.
Yeah. Dude, we're gonna get the crew back together in Book of Boba Fett. Mark my words.
Well,
I
there's
know.
a-
Dude, yes.
There's a lot
It's
of
gonna happen.
in Legends. Isn't there some time?
and Cad Bane, I hope.
Boba has come back a lot, but isn't there
We already
one or
got
a couple where,
Trandoshans in Mandalorian. I didn't actually like the Trandoshan live action design they used. It was a little, their snouts were like too flat.
They were different. Yeah.
They were-
It's a
Yeah,
different
I like the
species,
more
yeah.
lizard look that they used for Bosk.
Subspecies.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a great Bosk fan film out there. What am I trying to think? What is the name of it? that
There's
I'm
a
trying to
great
think of?
Bosk comic that came out last week. A great Bosk one-shot comic. That's some of the
Hmm.
best Bosk stuff I've ever seen.
Do you want to talk
It's
about
so
the comic, Levi?
Embo lives through the cube too.
Yeah,
Did we talk about the comic already?
We didn't, but I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. I think we should keep it accessible, the most
All right,
accessible.
that's
to
fine.
comics. I'm not sure. I don't
Well,
think
I'm
anyone-
interested in just hearing what you. Okay.
Well,
all
what
right,
I was
fine.
saying is, so in some Legends content, doesn't Dengar save Boba? Like he's the one that.
Dengar saves Boba from the Sarlacc.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Wait, what are your theories on Boba? getting
No,
out?
because in Mandalorian they pretty much inferred that the crate dragon eating the Sarlacc would be the reason for
That's
Boba.
true.
They don't
Yeah.
explicitly say that, but they infer it with the dialogue that
I've always just assumed that when Jabba's sail barge explodes, it like blows open the Sarlacc. It's like it explodes.
because
Like,
99% of the Sarlacc is below ground.
Why doesn't Boba have his armor? Do you think? Do you think he like passed out and the
explosion.
Jawas took it off of him, or do you think he like took it off in the desert, or like what do you?
Mm,
What do you?
I
Guys
don't know
think?
why. I don't know what.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was probably mad effed up after getting out of that Sarlacc and probably wasn't just like,
Yes.
all right, I'm ready to dust it
Speaking
off.
of
Yeah, I
mad,
mean, like
he's
we
probably
see,
mad
we
at
see him
Han
all
Solo.
scarred. We see him
Yeah,
all scarred.
so-
That's gonna be fresh wounds when we.
Right.
I feel like we're probably gonna get those
Whoever
fresh wounds.
took Boba in and cured him, stripped him, and then took his armor off, and there's a story there that'll get told eventually.
Do we
probably.
think
Yeah.
he's gonna have a grudge against Han? Moving forward, like, do you think he's gonna like drop what he's doing and maybe try to hunt Han or something like that?
If anything, he has a grudge against Luke.
No, because when we meet
Boba
Boba
Fett.
again in Mandalorian, he specifically talks about how like he's a changed man. Like he's
Yeah, but
like, fate
Han
trips
might
in.
like
True as
kind of
well.
trigger
Yeah.
that, you know?
it's possible.
Right. I mean, we almost.
just seems
I
like-
think
I think
very
it's-
close to
it's
him.
Luke.
and
Luke.
Boba
Luke
gets
more
a
than
second
anything,
lease
man.
on life after getting out of the Sarlacc, and he's not as much of a
Right.
like diehard a-hole anymore.
Yeah, I
You know what?
think,
I don't honestly think Boba ever was a diehard a-hole.
No,
he was always
he wasn't,
bounty
but-
hunting, doing it for himself kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, if it's Luke, then maybe he sees Mando. Mando's like, a Jedi helped us or something, and he's like, a Jedi. Then he
Maybe.
hears
A
about
Jedi.
Luke. I don't know.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I
Let's
actually
just
would
say they
love
might
to-
recognize my face.
Well, it's funny
Love that.
because
My favorite. That's like my favorite
So
line. It's so
cool.
funny.
so good.
it's funny because Boba could have been in the finale, but obviously he was the
He
kind of
dipped out,
distraction.
man.
But
I
he would have
didn't
met.
expect
He
him to
could have
just
met
leave
Luke.
like that.
He was relatively
Yeah.
close to Luke.
I
Yeah, they
think
kind of
that's why
had to
they-
keep him out of that
Yeah,
room.
that would have
Right.
been such an awkward
That would have been
situation.
that would have taken
They
over
would've
the,
been
that
like-
would have taken over the finale.
I know
Yeah.
The Spider-Man meme.
This
Yeah.
guy.
This
guy.
guy.
Of the
Huh?
or the ones where the cars are passing, and like one's
Yeah.
one's Boba, one's
Or look at Levi.
Oh, for me, you're in the bottom right corner. Wait, where are you guys?
What?
What do
Oh
you got?
wait,
What's this
I'm
bit?
looking at my view.
We're
like the-
Everybody's view is
I like
off.
the Brady
Nah,
bunch.
you're
Oh
this
wait,
way,
yeah, but
okay.
we're I'm down.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta look at this. All right, whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, it's all messed up. Yeah, Aiden's talking about how like why didn't Boba
Yeah, let's-
take the armor from Cobb?
Cobb. Well, maybe if he is a changed man, maybe he saw Cobb was
think
using it
he-
for good,
Yeah.
and he was like,
respected
"Hey,
him.
you know what? I'll let him keep it till he either dies or gives it away," which happened.
Dude,
so.
but speaking of Cobb Vanth, do you remember when all of season 2 of Mandalorian that we had seen was episode 1? Like we hadn't run into Boba yet. We hadn't
Good
before
times.
we hadn't
Good
run into
times, take me
Ahsoka.
back.
No Bo-Katan, no Luke. Yeah, exactly. But we were so high on Cobb Vanth after that first
Dude,
episode. Like,
that's
this
why-
dude's the man. Like he's
That's
got
why the
back.
weekly
man.
things are great. The weekly getting the
Mando
episodes
Mondays.
weekly. Because imagine if we got it all at once, Cobb
Mando
Vanth would
Mondays
hardly be in the
slaps.
conversations. We'd be talking about Luke, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan before we started talking about Cobb.
But also destroy
Yeah.
my wallet. But yeah.
So Cobb Vanth got the his much deserved respect for a week or 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, Alice is watching through the Clone Wars right now, and she just got to see Cad Bane for the first time.
Ooh.
Oh,
Cad Bane,
You're in
Cad
for a
Bane,
treat, man.
pretty sweet
Or
I will be right back.
and cool to see him other than in the game. Alice, did you play Star Wars Republic Heroes? What is it called?
The Galaxy of Heroes?
No.
Oh.
It's a game from about 2009.
Oh.
The villain is a Skalkoa named called Teska, which is a Wat Tambor species, but he's got like a sweet power suit, and you're
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about. I've seen a picture of him. I actually seen his figure before, but I know you're talking.
I
about.
had that figure. It's a sick figure.
Ah.
what was the figure?
Yeah.
It was of Cole
I'll sh-
Teska. I believe
show
that's
you.
his name. I haven't
Oh.
played that game in like 10 years. But Cad Bane,
Cole.
is in that game, and he was pretty cool. It was essentially just like a Clone
Wait,
Wars.
Cad Bane was in that game?
Yeah, dude, it was sick.
That's cool.
What year was it?
2009, I think. Is when the
Oh,
game-
okay.
Levi, what's your
Oh,
what's
Oh
your
wait,
favorite
this
Star
was the
Wars
Clone
game?
Wars game. Yeah. I
It's called,
remember.
it's called Republic Heroes, isn't it?
Hold on.
What's your favorite
Wait.
Star Wars game, Levi?
Well, someone was talking about earlier, like my first Star Wars game, I think was the DS. There's a DS Clone Wars game where like there's like a splinter group of Night Sisters who steal the sister ship of the Malevolence,
Yeah.
and they try to blow up Coruscant.
Republic Heroes. Yeah.
Ooh,
Republic Heroes, yeah.
That sounds
That
pretty
stuff
cool.
was pretty. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool. That was
Ooh.
pretty sweet.
Mike, I like
But,
that.
like,
I
your
don't.
favorite-
I don't remember that. What was the game? So it
Yo,
was
check out Mike's shirt real quick.
Knights?
I'm sorry. It's a dope.
So there
shirt.
were two.
Oh,
At
That's
the
good,
time
Mike.
of Clone Wars coming
you're
out,
muted.
there were two Star Wars games, one for DS and one for
This is the
consoles.
way.
This is the way. There are two, one for consoles and one for DS that were made that are were within the canon of
Mhm.
Star Wars, and one was about like a splinter group of Night Sisters who manipulate Count Dooku and take the sister ship of the Malevolence, which is called the Devastator, I believe,
Uh-huh.
and they try and blow up Coruscant, and you have to stop that. And then in Republic
What is
Heroes,
this game called?
Republic Heroes is like Cole Teska, who's a Techno Union scientist, who's like trying to, I don't know, and Cad Bane's in that. That's pretty sweet.
That is our Instagram, Cody.
Levi
Costello.
made-
Also
Levi
check
made
us
that
out on
up. There's no
Twitter
way that
at
is
All
real.
New Nerds.
I didn't make that up. Look it up, man. The Devastator. Or
That's
no,
what the game's called.
No, Devastator. I think that's the name of Darth Vader's ISD.
My first Star Wars game was Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga on the DS, and there was one thing that I had to have my mom figure out because there was a puzzle my pea-sized 7-year-old brain couldn't get by.
It is.
Classic.
I believe it's called.
My first Star Wars game. Gonna be honest, did not play too many Star Wars games. I definitely have gone back and played a couple, but
I think you just had a bad childhood, man.
Shadows of the
Yeah.
Empire for me, baby.
yeah,
Good one.
that's a good
Good
one.
one.
That's a good one to start with. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was the complete saga for me too. I think. Yeah. Yeah, Lego and Star Wars was very synonymous in my childhood. So
Actually, Shadows of the Empire was always one of those like stories that I like had hoped that they would like make one day.
mm.
And to me, it kind of like Levi, you've read Lost Stars, right?
I have, yeah.
Have Dylan and John? Have you guys read Lost
No, I have
Stars?
not.
To me,
Devastation. I was right. Yeah, there you go.
To
Sorry.
me, Lost Stars is like the perfect setup for a Star Wars movie that I think that they should make.
What's it
Because
about? Tell me about it.
it covers literally all of the original events of the original trilogy
From a
Star
new
Wars
point
movie,
of
but
view.
from the perspective of like two different people
Oh, cool.
growing, and like it's kind of like basically Romeo and Juliet in Star Wars. Like one of them, they grow up together to become pilots and train at the Empire Academy, um, and then like one of them becomes like defects to the rebellion, and the other one stays in the Empire, and they're like star-crossed lovers basically. But they like everything from destruction of Alderaan, destruction of the Death Star, Battle of Hoth, destruction of the second Death Star, Battle of Jakku. It's all in there. You see
That's
all of
sweet.
those events.
The Star Destroyer that Rey drives by in
Mhm.
Force Awakens.
That's from that game.
From the book.
From the book.
No,
Oh, the
yeah,
book, the book,
Lost
the book,
Stars.
yeah,
Yeah,
the book.
you hear
Game
the whole
the-
scene of
yeah.
them in that Star
How that
Destroyer.
Star
Anyway,
Destroyer got
if
there.
you
Oh,
haven't
I
read Lost
actually-
Stars, I
I
would
knew
recommend that book before any other Star Wars book.
It's a Jedi Alliance, John, by the way, is the name of the DS game. I'm not crazy. I didn't make it up.
Oh.
And it's real, and the Night Sisters steal the Devastation, okay? It's a sister ship of the Malevolent.
I thought that was purely what the game was about. I know.
Really?
Okay. I know what this.
I
Game
love
is,
when
yeah.
Star Wars stuff like kind of takes different
God,
or
I
like
love Clone
unknown
Wars.
characters' perspectives and stuff. Like the Luke Skywalker book, where you get these
You know what?
hyperbolic or like I don't know, just like stories about Luke Skywalker's people's perception on him. Pretty cool.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah,
The
you
point of
hear
view
about
books,
Luke
too.
in the. Actually, there are a couple. Is there a scene with Luke in Lost Stars, or do you just hear about him?
You just hear about them.
Yeah, you just hear about him. Yeah, but you do. I think there is a scene with Leia though, in the
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
Yep,
They're at a ball. They're at she's at a charity ball.
yeah,
like
that's
the-
right.
At the Imperial Palace.
Is this book canon or is it?
Yeah,
before?
it's canon.
Nice.
No, it's canon.
Nice.
One of
Yep.
the first. It was one of the first canon books.
And to
actually-
me, that's like the reason that would make the perfect movie is because obviously nostalgia is one of the hugest like driving forces of like Star Wars and what people keeps bringing people back to it, especially old farts like me. And like you can't just like rehash the original trilogy, but if you were to like do Lost Stars, you could get all of those nostalgic moments whilst telling a completely different story with different characters, and it would be like, to me, that's like the best of both worlds.
Master 252 says, "You guys mean the manga Lost Stars?" And it was a book first, but yes, it has been
Ooh, I'll
adapted
get on that.
into a manga now, which is pretty
Dylan
cool.
Likey.
It's been adapted.
I can get into
And you know something about that game, John. You know what you do? It's for Mike. Do you fight rancors on Dathomir? That's how I know that.
There you go.
That's how I know that.
Oh, there is a manga about the Legend of Luke Skywalker. I know there's one that's like I don't have the book. My friend does, but I read something. There was like a flea on Luke Skywalker's head when he's fighting the Rancor, and it's like Ratatouille. It thinks it's Ratatouilleing him to do the movements to defeat the Rancor. It's pretty funny.
You know what? I'm actually a little bit. Maybe you can clear this up for me, Levi. The way like Asajj Ventress is like a Dathomirian. She's like a Night Sister. But they mate with Zabraks, but Zabraks aren't native to Dathomir. They're like
from Iridonia.
yeah.
Iridonia
Okay. So,
Zabraks.
but like they're supposed to be Dathomirian men, or like all beings from Dathomir are female Night Sister type things, and then they like import the Zabraks to mate with.
I think whenever that happened, it was a long time ago, and that tribe of Zabraks who lives there is like ancient because they've developed like a separate genus of the same species.
Okay.
So, but it is like that relationship where the Night Sisters use them as like they use
Because we never hear about like male Dathomirians. We only hear about Zabraks, and
I
they're
think
like slaves.
I don't think that doesn't exist. I don't think really. It's always been like a weird
Mm.
blend. I mean, maybe it's
So
it's
you're a
just
Night
confusing.
Sister or a Zabrak, basically.
The first
Yeah.
time that the Night Sisters were mentioned were in like the book Courtship of Princess Leia in the 90s, and they were very
Oh, that's
different than they
right.
were now.
Yeah.
they changed
Wait,
them
what
again.
was her name? What was the Night
You know
Sister's
where-
name? I forget.
a lot of
Do you remember Levi in that book?
Oh God, no, dude, I don't know.
a lot of
Um,
Star
now that-
Wars world
now
stuff
that-
comes from an old Star Wars RPG like tabletop
RPG
D&D
game, yeah, Night Sisters
yeah,
from it,
and they
yeah.
just like were like I don't know, make stuff up, so he didn't put it in, and
But so the problem, Mike, is there was also Night Sister stuff in Legends, and then when every time that George would do something in Clone Wars, it would sort of walk all over what Legends had said, and so like we don't really have a really clear delineation on the history of that. We know that just there are multiple Zabrak species, but the main population are from a planet called Iridonia. That's why like Eth Koth and like Agent Kolar, and you see them in the movies and in the shows, are like they're Zabraks. They got the horns, but they don't have like the painted faces.
Tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a guy in Mandalorian that Gina Carano was fighting? The Cartoon's fighting in the bar.
Yeah, that guy's a Zabrak.
Yeah,
Zabrak,
and but he has no face tattoos.
He's got
right?
new face tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the guy that Mando kills in the like the crime boxing ring.
Yeah,
first
that's such a
episode.
sweet scene.
Oh my god.
That opening scene is like one of my favorite things in all of
So
Star Wars.
basically, you're just like, that's an Iridonian.
Yeah, Iridonian.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan actually mentions it in the Clone Wars. He's like, when they're talking about Dathomir, he's like, I thought all the Zabraks are from Iridonia, and you're just like,
Even he was confused.
yeah, tribe. Like they mentioned, there's some like one-off sentence where he's like, it's a lost tribe of people, sort of deal.
You know how
And that's the episode where that's the same episode where Ventress is recruiting, right, Levi?
I believe so.
Levi, have you ever gone and like looked at one of the like online like Star Wars Galaxy maps that's like super deep and interactive where you can like see where all the planets are in relation?
Those
to
are awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love doing that and finding out like, oh, okay, that's where Dathomir is, and that's where
That's what a lot of people did. Remember when we were in Mando season 2?
Like how he's gonna get to Tython.
How the
Yeah,
Tython
yeah.
and now
Also
what's going to be the
Kamino,
planet
too.
for the
Kamino
finale?
was
Yeah,
close
Kamino.
by
Yeah.
on the route that he was going to, which is
Yeah.
true.
I
I still
was-
think that they were headed to Kamino, but they didn't get there.
Yeah.
You mean Moff
Researching
Gideon?
Moff Gideon was, yeah.
part of the same star system. So that's why like the crippled Falcon is able to like get to Bespin from Hoth on like
Yeah, it's all in the Anawat sector.
the like regular so they don't have to travel that far, or they like they don't have light speed, so but if you look at one of the Star Wars maps, like Bespin and Hoth are like right next to each other in the same system.
Same thing with Tatooine and Geonosis. That's
Yes.
why in episode 2.
Tatooine and Geonosis are like specifically supposed to be like sister planets, right? Like they have
they're close, something like
Yeah.
that. But like in episode 2, when they're on Tatooine, and Anakin and Padme are like, "Yo, we can go help Obi-Wan because
Yeah.
we're right there."
or like also in the same like Tatooine, Geonosis, and very close to that system is Rhodia, where the Greedo species are from. That's why like it makes sense you
Rhodians, yeah.
see Greedo on Tatooine. Like
Senator Anaconda Farr, please, Padme's uncle, sort of.
Oh yeah, that guy.
If you remember that character, yeah, and he gets
Uh,
poisoned and killed.
Alice A says, would you rather have a Kamino and neck or Jar Jar ears?
Ooh.
That's tough. I think Jar Jar ears.
Jar Jar ears
Yeah,
definitely
you'd
are
have
more-
to.
It gives you more of like it has some benefit to it, like they both look ridiculous, but the neck.
If I had a
doesn't get
Kamino
me
and neck,
feel-
I'm just
I remember
Yeah.
my first impression of the Kaminoans when I watched Attack of the Clones when I came out in the theaters. I honestly thought it was like, wow, this doesn't feel very Star Warsy. This feels like something Steven Spielberg would make, or it just felt very
They're
like
a little creepy, man. They are really
unique for a Star Wars design. But
Yeah.
then again, like it's a whole galaxy with just like an infinite number of possibilities. So
Yeah.
at this point, I don't think of it that way anymore. I just think of like, Dad, it's Ton Wei's here.
Dad.
Yeah.
Welcome. We've been expecting.
great
you.
question.
Yeah, it's just so
Yeah,
voices.
we've
She has the phone sex operator voice.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
How do you know that?
Welcome.
Go- go-
Mike.
Lamasu.
How do I know that?
5 minutes.
all right, stop. Oh, do you
No,
wanna-
Omega is not a Night Sister. I think literally the only reason she has
No.
the bow is because they're literally on Dathomir, and it's probably just like, here's a weapon.
I think it's just if you
He's
look
like
at it, if
Colin.
you slow it down, it's just the same tech. Like it's not
Yeah.
it's not the
Yeah.
bow. Like they're the Night Sister. bows
No,
are
I've
way
seen.
more
I don't know, man.
organic.
Not necessarily, because I've seen some girls that are like obsessed with Night Sisters, like react to that trailer, going like, "Oh my
I think
god,
they're
it's a Night."
wrong.
I'm gonna
Well,
trust.
I mean,
the
I think I don't know.
Night Sister cosplay people that know what they're talking about.
I just like the Night Sister bows are like they're like wooden, organic. Like they feel like they're made of the place, and they have that. Cool
I gotta
energy.
look at the.
Whereas
picture.
Omega's is like made of metal.
Yeah.
Omega's
And
is
I
like,
think the only like
like-
thing people were saying that because of the string. I think it's really why.
yeah, and I think that's
Or
just like the tech, the way that
that's just a tech. Yeah.
We've seen
Yeah,
more.
I thought the
energy
same
weapons
thing.
in Star Wars.
I
now
didn't think
than
it was-
regular. Yeah.
I didn't think it was a.
Dryden Boss's like energy
his
knives that are basically
think of the Electro Axe in the Last Jedi, like
or
the way
that tether
energy
that
looks.
Cara
Yeah.
Dune to that
yeah,
yeah.
Same thing,
Yes,
same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
The way that energy
I-
is, I just think it's. I
Yeah,
think it's
I
just for
could
weapons.
see her like maybe like when they're on Dathomir, like her integrating that into a bow. Like I could see her just making it there, but I don't think it's. I think she's gonna have a bow regardless. But I don't know. We'll see how
Speaking
that
of
goes.
Star Wars weapons. Do you know what I've always thought was weird? In season 2 of Mando, the Tuskens, I'm pretty sure they have their cycler rifles, but they're shooting blaster bolts. Aren't they usually like actual bullets? Or like in the originals, wasn't it like not blaster fire? It was like pellets.
I don't know. In what is it in
It's definitely more primitive.
Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
In Phantom,
Phantom
Menace, they're taking
Menace.
pot shots.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Pod
yeah.
Racers.
And it's not blaster
They're like
fire.
It's
pellets,
definitely a
no.
projectile, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this is the furthest we've seen in the timeline Tusken Raiders.
That's
so
true.
maybe
Yeah, maybe
they,
they've evolved. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
I guess bullets don't look as cool either on screen. Like
No.
with the far angles.
Well,
and
I
stuff.
think we're just used to blaster bolts in Star Wars too.
Right.
And it was
I-
cool.
I-
It was
yeah.
it was cool in the Phantom Menace because it was hitting metal, and you could have that really cool like ping sound, and like the way it hit, and it
Yeah.
provided a really cool like. audio.
Prove it was there for a reason. But yeah. Do we want to talk about Matt Lanter a little bit? Because I mean, briefly,
how could we
there's
forget,
not
yeah.
much. We kind of skip past. Oh, I didn't skip past it, but I know we've just been so stuck in conversation. So there is a Matt Lanter came out in Entertainment Weekly interview and did say that indeed
We will see. Anakin
we will
back.
see Anakin in the future.
Wait,
Him
got
and
into it, Levi.
Matt Lanter.
I thought he said something more along the lines of like he's been involved in an animated project and it's
He straight up
Lucasfilm.
said we will see Anakin again.
we will see Anakin.
Okay, well that's
Right,
straight
yeah,
up.
yeah.
yeah.
Let me.
Which
yeah, let me
project are we
try.
talking about
But,
with
but
Matt
your,
Lanter?
your quote is also, Mike. He said, "Yeah, I've been a part of something I can't talk about yet."
Yeah, yeah.
But then
Yeah,
he also
you'll-
said,
You'll see Anakin again. Yes.
"You'll see Anakin again."
Yes. Let
Alright,
me. I want to find the exact quote here. Let me.
Did he?
All right. So
mean-
ready? So there's some new Lucasfilm animation going on. I've been a part of some things I can't talk about yet. You'll see Anakin again. I never quite put Anakin down, whether I'm doing a video game or something new for Lucasfilm animation. They go
Is it
on.
maybe a flashback from Kenobi? Maybe.
I think it's Vader, man.
Then no,
in
not
Bad
Kenobi.
Batch.
Bad Batch.
But then
Yeah.
you're not talking about Anakin. You're talking about Vader.
Well,
Is James Earl Jones going to do
That's what I'm saying. James Earl
Oh.
Jones's voice might be. He's still alive.
well,
Right,
remember,
yeah.
Use 'em while you got 'em.
that,
Use
that
them
mix
while
in
you can, yeah.
that mix in Rebel.
Kieran says Visions. He could,
Yeah,
he could be a-
Visions,
there
yeah.
could be a
Visions.
Anakin
Right,
Vision.
Visions.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, dude, if there's an
Yes.
Anakin story in Visions.
Yes. Did we talk about that earlier though with like possible Inquisitor like
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like new characters and old characters having their stories. Yeah,
I sounds like I actually have to dip, guys. I have to go
All right.
now. So
yeah, we'll probably wrap
Oh,
up.
Thanks for
well,
having me on the
we've
stream,
been- we've been
guys.
slacking
Thank you for
a
coming
while
by.
here, so.
We've been going.
Yes. Yeah. Should we
We'll
close
wrap
this
up.
out?
But
Is
yeah,
that
let's
the little
let's
news?
wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you
Yeah.
everyone who came to this stream, and
Thank you,
We had a
guys.
lot of interaction. I didn't expect this many people to come in, but I feel like we've had
Yeah.
consistent people talking. So that was a lot of fun. We're definitely gonna do this next Wednesday.
If
that's
I can
cool
just
with
say, because there's people who've just come in now. I've had a great stream, but asking me why, what's going on with me in theory.
you. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
It's totally fine. I understand if I upset some people with what happened, but we're past it now. We're trying to move on. I went on his channel. I apologized on the first stream. It's all good, guys. If you want to just come and talk Star Wars and enjoy, I'm here for it. I'm willing to have a conversation with anyone. And going forward, that's what we're committed to here. Just open, positive conversation. So yeah, if you watch, you watch, and I'm happy everyone's come in.
Good stuff.
Yeah, chat. You've been great. You guys have been overwhelmingly great. There, a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much. I'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you,
just-
Mike.
Just letting everyone
Thank
know.
you. Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if you're new here, kind of the stream can reach more people. We do pods on Mondays, and we're also usually over on Jedi Jive stream over every Saturday around 3 Eastern
Yes.
time. So definitely go check that out, and go check out Jedi
Follow
Jive
Mike.
in general because he's got some
Yeah.
good stuff.
And we'll be
Yeah.
talking to Star Wars only on this Saturday.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
of us
Star Wars
in
only
Star
will
Wars
be
only, yeah.
on the live
That'll-
stream.
That'll be fun.
So all right. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Levi.